I wasn't even sure we were gonna do this tonight, but enough people seemed interested, and I feel like this is sort of a place for y'all to get your thoughts out there on some of these things. And since the uh, the Sanderson stream was so successful and huge, I'm sure I missed a lot of what all of you got to say, and some of you didn't even get to see it because it was very impromptu. So I figure we'll sort of hit the gauntlet of things tonight, whatever you guys want to talk about. But first, just the same talk. I know Rafe apparently had a New York Comic Con panel where he talked about a few things. I don't know. I don't know if I have the. I don't know. I don't know if I have the strength to watch that. I don't. Yeah, there hasn't been anything new from him, Derek. Just the same old, same old. There's still, I think, a lot to unpack from that. I've been at work, so I haven't had a chance. I have some videos that are half made, but it's sort of crazy. I don't know. There has been a little bit of fallout from it. It feels like, especially when I mean, I wasn't sure. Like I said, I wasn't sure I was going to do this tonight, and then like I just happened to open my phone, and there's I don't know how I get like connected to some of these tweets on Twitter, but literally the first thing that pops up in my Twitter feed is some show shill, and I thought it was from weeks ago, right? I thought it was a while ago, but it was from like hours ago. Apparently, in his New York Comic Con Q&A, he tells people they should just keep the show running on repeat in the background while they're doing other things. So I'm not saying to watch it over again. Not just while you're doing other things. Nobody watched our show, so we need the few people that did watch the show to just, you know, repeat it over and over and over again. My Twitter handle is that what you're asking for, Kat? I have to look it up here. Hold on. I use Twitter that little. Hold on. Let me get it. I can get it for you. I swear. Uh, 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 uh. Sorry. There you go. There's my Twitter handle. I think. Yeah, that should be it. But it's just amazing. I don't know. I'm gonna be a little all over the place today because it's been quite a week work wise. So, but yeah. So I think I'm just gonna send the link out to the on the community tab and get people in here, and we'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Whether it's the Sanderson stuff, season 3. I know there's been some stuff going around. Uh, Trip gave me a leaked audition tape of a Cooladin scene. So so that's happening, I guess. Um, I guess I don't even know what to think about that. I guess we are getting Cooladin. You're not that late, Jason. We're just starting, man. We're just starting. So hold on. Let me get the link to the stream. Man, it feels like forever. Okay, here we go. Let's get it up. Get the community tab up. Blah 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 blah. All right. Oh, channel members. There we go. All right. So the link's up on the community tab for the members if you guys want to hop in. Like I said, I'm not sure how long we'll go tonight. Just got a lot going on at home. So I've seen, if you're talking about the Rafe one, I was sent that a little bit before, Jay. So I know what you're talking about. I think that's the one you're talking about. But I've got that linked a few times. I don't know if it's still up. It's 27 minutes of Rafe talking, which, oof. It is a little bit daunting. What's up, Chris? How are you?
I'm good.
Articus, what's up? How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Oh, I feel like I'm still recovering. I don't know. Like I don't know what else to say other than that. Like there's been a few times I've gone to start making some videos, and it's just like I feel like I'm juiced right now. I don't know, but I don't know.
It's like what happened with Salty, where he just gave up after episode 5.
Well, yeah, I mean that, but it's just like I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like I'm on like I need to keep talking about it because more shit keeps popping up. Like the full. I feel like the full offensive for season 3 has already started. I mean, and it's like I got to get out of my rut. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well,
There's just
it
so much.
it started. Season 2 started the day season 1 ended, and then it kind of died 3 months later when they basically had no news. And then Twitter Time kept it. I tried to keep it going every Wednesday, but less and less came out.
Well, I know because I know some like this Q&A thing. The only reason that happened just happened to line up with New York Comic Con, right? Which nobody freaking. I mean, I still can't believe
The 20 people in the room, yeah.
Right, I don't know. Like I haven't even seen this thing, but it looks like somebody snuck their phone in and taped it. I don't know if I haven't popped it open yet, but I mean, like they're making like the recasting of freaking Egwene's mother like a big news story, and it's like,
And they're making up deleted scenes to try to rectify the stuff they left out.
are they?
Yeah,
Wait,
they had a deleted scene of Inktar's redemption
Where was this?
in the New York Comic Con panel.
They said they
Is
cut
that
it.
part of the Q? Do we have it?
I think we do.
Oh shit! Well, okay. Is it during his Q&A?
Yeah. It's
Oh,
when he's talking with some random guy on stage that was
okay. Let me see if
supposedly
I
a critic, like a TV show critic or whatever.
All right, let me see if I can, because I haven't, again, I've been shared this a few times. Let me see if I can get the clip.
Which really lends a lot of credence to Sanderson's comment that when you have a season filled with Moraine drama, you have to cut a whole bunch of stuff. I'm guessing he had this specific scene in mind as well.
It makes sense because if you look at the way Inktar died, it was a very dramatic moment, but there was no reason for it to be dramatic. They could have literally just said, cut away, and
It doesn't look like it's in his Q&A, so I wonder if does anybody have that? Does anybody have the Inktar thing? Hey, Kat, by the way, how are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Oh, like I said, I don't know. I'm glad to be here with y'all, but I'm feeling a little bit just zapped, right? I mean, like the Sanderson stuff, like gave me a nice little jolt in the arm, and that stream was hella fun, and I love that you know he said what he said, most of it anyways. But like I don't know, it's like I've sat down to do a few things. I have things written down that I want to do, and I just every time I sit down, it's just like,
Am I able to send the scene to you on Discord?
yeah, send it wherever you want. If you got it, hit me. Yeah, Discord's perfect.
I was very happy about the Sanderson. Just as my son and my husband and I were all, especially my son, were one of the whatever that crowdsourcing Kickstart program.
Yeah.
So like my son has gotten all of the Hoyt, no, I mean all of that. Like we just love Arclight and everything like that. So it was nice we've been wondering what his thoughts on this catastrophe have been. So it was a relief to kind of see him just saying, I tried, and they ignored me. So because we were just like, I can't believe he's putting his name to this because it's such hot garbage.
And that's one of Arctis I'm sorry, Arcticus. I keep saying Arctis. So there was no video, it's just him talking about the scene, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I may have it in the other videos because Tripp sent me the whole thing. So
like that's what makes me believe that maybe that he's lying about actually deleting the scene because they're not providing.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
They're preempted. Okay,
Yeah,
because they fucked it up so bad, they have to go back and redo. Okay,
Didn't they
All right.
also promise?
Like I said, I'm a little slow to the uptake here with some of this stuff.
because we have leaked scripts of a whole bunch of stuff, and Inktar being a dark friend and redeeming himself is nowhere to be seen.
Well, I mean, like, there's also the leaked IO script for season 3 for Cooladin. Well, there was what altered. stuff for season like that's what I'm saying is like I'm like usually I'm pretty on top of this stuff and Trip if Trip didn't send me what she has, like Trip is the only one keeping me well, I shouldn't say the only one. Trip, J Rambles, there's a few of you guys that send me links and all that. I appreciate all of them, but like I'm usually pretty on top of the game on like, you know, looking at stuff and making sure I couldn't like I'm just like zapped and I don't like being that way. So I need to get over myself. But were there so there we're talking about season 2 deleted stuff?
Yeah. He said that they deleted a scene in season 2 with Inktar. I think he reveals it to Perrin, not Rand.
So he just straight up reveals that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes sense to cut that one because they spent all the time on Moraine and Leandrin.
Well, it makes no sense. Like, who cares if he's a dark friend? It doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Is there's no story to it. It's just him saying he's a dark friend.
And there's like zero consequences in this world for being a dark friend. You know, you have Leandrin, who's just whatever. You have Lanfear, who's a Forsaken, who's kind of good.
Well, the dark friends are the good guys. Everybody likes the dark friends in this, right?
Well, hell, Rand, Lan, and Moraine are now dark friends, so...
Is there a way to join you guys in the Discord? How it work? But just saw Sanderson watch, and Sanderson is barely disguising his contempt. I mean, what, like, I'm not sure we'll join, like, right now, yeah, I saw the Rafe things, G. I'm not sure the question, Octon. I don't, like, this is sort of a members perk. I love all the questions that you know, of course, we're paying attention to chat as well, but you know, I like to try and, you know, as gratitude for you guys being members, bring you guys in, the members in to say what they feel like they want to say, because I mean, this is, you know, your channel too, right? I mean, at least that's the way I think of it. But so I'm not sure, like, do you have our, like, I'm not sure what you mean by joining the Discord. Sorry, again,
I think he thought that this was like a Discord call that we were in, not a.
Oh no. That's not what this one is. There. I have been known to get into long Discord discussions about Cosmere and other things. So, excuse me, but I mean that's, you know, that's part of what I mean. The Wheel of Time cycle is going to end here. I got to figure out what I want to cycle into, right? I mean, obviously probably Cosmere stuff and some other stuff, but that's here nor there. So so I guess, I mean, well, here, let's look at this is definitely the clip of the Inktar stuff you sent me, right? Let's see if I can bring that up, because I haven't seen any of his trash Comic-Con interview. I'm sure they're all softball questions and a bunch of crap like that. Has anybody seen his Comic-Con interview yet?
I've seen the odd clip that Trip sends in the Discord, but besides that, no.
Okay, because I'm sure they're all softball nothings.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Octon, is your are you accepting gift memberships to this channel?
What is he doing here? Oh, yeah, everything is wrong. Well, and that's like, yeah, and just there's been times where, you know, I'll get hop in the Discord and just, you know, just sit there and do stuff. Me and Easton were playing the new Sonic game today, so I almost just streamed that on the Discord. But you know, so I've been thinking, and real quick before I do this, like, so the Sanderson thing, right? For me, like, I know there are some people, and I've heard it a little bit from differing people that they didn't think Sanderson went that hard, and I watched part of it again, and he freaking, like, he just destroys it. Like like, especially from the lack of things he said in the past. Like, and I might be alone on that. I don't know. I feel like I'm not, but
no, his body language. His body language. He may not have been expressing his utter disappointment and kind of contempt for what has been done, but his body language really spoke volumes, I thought.
There's the body language, and then
His
like
breathing. Oh my god.
Daniel Green was the MVP of body language, but but just like his body language, the things he said, the things he didn't say, and there were a lot of times when he was praising it, and then I found the very end where he was talking about where Daniel Green said, no, I have to disagree with you about direction, this, that, and the other, and Sanderson's like, oh, I think of that as cinematography, and he's like, well, what is direction? And it's like, well, it's like, I don't know, getting people out of their trailers and to show up to the scenes. It's like what? it's the weirdest. So it's like he gives the weirdest compliments, like, and doesn't back them up, and everything he has negative to say about it is completely, it is extremely detailed, and that was the thing, like. Any negative thing that he had to say, I felt like was an extremely detailed, nuanced take. And then, look, he threw up some softballs. Of course he did. That's Sanderson. We all know him at this point. I just, the fact, the amount of, and that's going to be a video here hopefully soon, is the amount of, I'm sorry I tried, and I've tried, and I wouldn't have done that, and do you really think that's good? That came, and the snarky remarks that came out of him was just like, good Lord, man, like that's just not something he does, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's why I felt like it held more weight than, he's not going to do me. He's not going to go on there and be like, what a, I've never seen something so stupid, but I felt like I felt like he was almost saying that about the dagger. It's like, no, why would you do that? It's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life, right? And it's, I don't know. I was so shocked because I've said it a few times. I wasn't planning on even watching it, to be honest, because I just, I love the Cosmere, and I don't want to. I've heard some people saying things about like, the show has damaged Wheel of Time for them, and this, that, and the other, and I know there was a point where like me watching his comments on some of the Wheel of Time stuff was, damaging how I felt about the Cosmere, and so I stopped watching his stuff, and hey, it was okay.
Yeah, I was sorry.
Go ahead. No, go.
I was thinking about the direction comments he was making, and then someone brought up in the Discord that the reason we didn't have Tom at all in the season was because the actor had conflicts with other projects he was working on. But that's like the second person they've had this season with issues. We had Swan, that's why she wasn't in it a lot. We have Tom that's not in it at all because of issues. We have an actor leaving, which was Gwen's mother, and then we had Matt leave last season.
It's like that is so your direction too does suck because you've now you lock like. Oh God, how do you like this is a show is going to have multiple seasons, right? So you go, hey, actor, we want you to be Tom Maryland. He should be active in every season of the show. If you're going to sign on for season 1, you need to make sure that you're available for a period of time during this part for shooting for season 2, season 3, and beyond. Okay? Sign contract. I don't understand when did that become so hard? It's like you are a character in a show that's going to last several seasons. You need to be available. So you are either in breach of contract, and I'll fire you and replace you because, frankly, Tom, not that hard to replace. The guy did a shit job. They should have replaced him, honestly. I don't know if it was him or the freaking what they gave him, but like.
I think he had a lot of input on like the gravelly, darkish Tom. I think like they did a special about him creating the song that he sang.
The one that wanted to make everybody kill themselves. Yeah, that's exactly what a Gleeman's supposed to do. Make everybody want to jump off a fucking cliff.
But like even their main star, what is it, Josha? Yeah. Like the reason he has short hair is because he's cutting his hair for a different project.
Yeah, he cut his hair for freaking Gran Turismo.
Like that's a side thing. It's just his hair. But when your actor's priority is a side character in a different project instead of a main character in his main project, that's I don't know.
They couldn't even afford a wig.
I'd rather have the short hair than a wig. But just like but you're right. Like I can't cut my hair. I am contractually obligated to be Randall Thor, the most important character in this show.
But he's not the most important character in this version, so
you're absolutely right there. That's the big kicker. Is like he's probably. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how. Well, I know exactly how I feel, but real quick, William Richards, Mr. Alex, Mr. Whitecloak himself. Thank you for the gifted membership. Amra the Australian is Dragon Sworn again, and Chris. Thank you for the gifted sub. Step or membership. Step is now Dragon Sword again. Yeah, I know, Flaccid. It's right up your alley, buddy. I'm sure you'd love it. Oh wait, there's no tits hanging out anywhere, so you'd probably hate it. My bad.
We've had plenty of opportunity, and then we're gonna get an entire storyline with Sea Folk, and we're gonna get 0 tits.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Like, okay, shit.
No, the tits we are going to get are the
right.
old woman Weiss ones.
Oh, yeah.
In those sweat tents.
Okay. I have a feeling they're going to make Savannah old and have like a 50-year-old.
Oh, of course she is. Of course she's not like Barrelane's going to be some 80-year-old decrepit freaking gray-haired woman who's like needs a cane, right?
How much you want to bet Barrelane is going to be? I forgot the Forsaken name.
How is it? I don't.
So because they gotta have every woman in there older than Rosamund Pike, with the exception of kind of your main, Eggy and Elaine and Nynaeve. But everybody else, Rosamund Pike will be the standard for aging. So.
No, you're not wrong. But I heard about this. So did the Sea Folk thing come out in an article? Like, where did that come from? Because I heard that. I forgot exactly where it came from, but I heard it. Oh wait, no, Trip sent me an article. That's right. Of all the things, like the Sea Folk bullcrap is the easiest shit to cut if you really need to cut stuff.
And the Bowl of Winds, just have the girls do it alone without the Sea Folk.
The Bowl of Winds you can figure out if you figure it out at all. You could I know people say you could probably cut the Bowl of Winds easy. But no.
Well, they haven't indicated that the weather is really messed up by the Dark Ones touching. So I mean, there's no point really in the Sea Folk Bowl of Winds storyline at all.
Well, there's no point. You're right, exactly. So it's like at this point, you haven't started down the weather is weird storyline at all, or any of that. So you can cut the Bowl of the Winds out. Like you just get rid of it, which eliminates the massive need for the annoying. Oh my God, the Sea Folk! Like, holy crap! For how annoying the Sea Folk are in the books, how annoying are they going to be on the screen? Like, in the fact that we've decided to keep them. Instead of just get rid of, what are we going? Like, is Matt even going to go to the waste?
He's probably going to end up with. I don't think so. There's no reason for him.
There's no reason for him to go to the waste.
I know they're doing a Battle of Emond's Field, so Perrin's going there. Egwene, I'm guessing, is going in the waste with Rand. I don't know what Matt's doing, but I know they're doing Tanchico. He said they're doing Tanchico. Tanchico, yeah.
So that means
there we go.
The thing, sorry, one thing before you go. They still haven't done Camelin. And we're we're going on to a different city. We haven't done Camelin yet.
Like, how have we, like, the capital city of Andor, we haven't got there, but oh hey, she was everybody, there's an Easter egg. He's looking down Elaine's dress as she looks at him. I mean, it's like, what are we doing here? Like, why is everything just? Oh my God! Right? Oh damn it! I missed the freaking thing here. Sorry. I found that Jay gave me a timestamp for the Ingtar thing here, so I'm trying to bring it up here. All right, here we go. I think this is it. There we go. Let me get that. All right, let's see. Let me turn down the music in the back here. I have no idea what they're going to do, Kat. I have no idea what they're going to do with the Sea Folk, except it's going to be cringy.
Well, they're going
to be know-it-alls. Well, everybody's race swapped because everybody is everything.
Yep.
They just removed the one Black Forsaken from the books. I found that was interesting.
But it's like CH Ryun was yeah. I think there was a few things because I saw a few maybe I don't know. We can watch it if you guys want, but just because we're talking about the Ingtar part, I know this is the Ingtar part, but I just God, I don't know how you get it all wrong so badly, but and then just like well, it's everybody is basically race swap. I mean, honestly, I mean because you have a melting pot in the two rivers, which shouldn't be. You go to the frickin' uh, to the Borderlands. You can't tell a Borderlander from a dude on the street. Aiel are walking the streets in frickin' Falme. Nobody cares because they can't tell them apart. And it's like, I'm not. Look, it's just you have to do some of that. You have to, so we can tell who is who. We can't tell who is where from where. We can't tell an Aiel person from a freaking Two Rivers person. We can't tell an Andorman person to a Karahian to a Borderlander. We can't keep track of it. So
now that you mention it, the big places they've done so far are Tar Valon, Karahian, and then Felme. And two of the three are all areas where you could explain diversity.
Yeah, Karahian and Tar Valon, yeah.
Yeah, and yet the places they seem to ignore are the more homogenous cities like Tyr, Camelin. I'm guessing Ilion as well would extend to that. But
I mean, Edmund's Field should be that way.
Yeah, what I'm getting at is they're more opting for like the coastal tropical areas instead of like the more like whitish British inspired areas.
So that's because
they want their vacations in Morocco.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
I mean, I saw, what was that? They're in. Hey guys, they're going to be on the filming in South Africa. So I guess in the Czech Republic. So finally, they at least South. I mean, why? I don't like. What are they doing in South Africa?
I guess get the combat footage from Ukraine.
Maybe that's going to be the waste. Yeah. Is where they're filming stuff in the waste. Maybe would be South Africa.
I mean, they could just
Africa is in desert.
They could just look like the desert in America.
But now we know what the budget's being spent on instead of like on decent graphics and de-aging your Aes Sedai to give him an ageless look. They're spending it on Rafe's and his boyfriend going to all of these great places that he went to when he did the Amazing Race.
Yeah, right. Oh Jesus, I forgot about that. So apparently they filmed in Slovenia in season 1. So was that where the Two Rivers set was?
It would have to be.
Return to Slovenia. Yeah, I don't know.
Because they don't have to move all over the place for these ep seasons. Like it's the only places that are very diverse from one another is the Waste and then maybe a coastal area here and there. But everywhere else is kind of just your run of the mill. It could be filmed in New Zealand type thing.
Yeah, I just I mean, I don't know. It's I'm sure they could have even made it from where frickin' they were, but it's just like, I don't know. Everything looks wrong. Why does Falme look like Faldara? I mean, like Falme and Faldara, you could just switch them and they're the same place, like a city surrounded by sand, right? I mean, it didn't look unique. It looked like Faldara. Like, I mean, I didn't look like. I'm just thinking about this like yesterday. The two cities could be interchangeable. There's one entrance. And that's it. Like I don't understand why we can't get a little bit more creative, but I guess we're all asking where the money went to, right?
Well, I think Kat is 100% correct that it's just traveling expenses and sniffing instructors for Perrin, but
expensive dinners. And
season 3 budget is going to be partially consumed by them rebuilding the Two Rivers because they burned it down last time. and they didn't just build outside places; they built the entire building.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, you could live in them. Yeah, it's like it's the same thing with like freaking just CGI. We've taken steps backwards. Like we're building whole houses instead of like building a frame and then just like I don't know.
Or even renting. That's what Game of Thrones did. They rented some of the castles they filmed in.
Like they just like I don't know. It's crazy. All you got to do is look like whether you liked House of Dragons or not. Just the production quality on every level, visually, is just puts all these Amazon shows to shame. I mean,
and even looking something recently like Ahsoka. Say what you will about the story and the writing, it's horrible, but the visuals are there, and it's a simple budget to Wheel of Time, and yet it's like night and day the quality difference.
Well, hell, Last Kingdom's on Netflix. I believe we were trouncing about medieval England, or whatever time period, castles and open warfare, right? With swords and shields. I believe we were doing all that. Like it looked believable. Like you don't got a bunch of people walking around in plate, but they're in their leather jerkins and their big old Viking shields and shit like that, right? Hell, even Vikings before it went crazy. Right? I mean, it's just like that's a History Channel show. Like Vikings look good I mean, I don't know how the later seasons look, but in the time of Ragnar, it looked good, right? So, so this is apparently this is the Ingtar part of this. So let me play it real quick here. See what he has to say. Tell me if it's loud enough.
Are connected when they're connected emotionally. So there are things that sometimes you have to put, like in this finale, there's a really important sequence from the books where Ingtar, who is the guy that was captured with Perrin and Loyal, is revealed to be a dark friend. And it's a big story in the books. It's something I love in the books.
Then why didn't you put it in the story?
Why? What? Like, so
why did you kill him in season 1? Why did you not put it in the story if you love it?
Just like I don't know what and I'm at the point where you are in charge, dude. If you look, he's saying he loves all these things, and then he doesn't include them. He doesn't even mention them. It's like, oh, I love the sky. It's a sky battle. I love the sword forms. I love. We're training hard for the Matt Bowstaff scene. But then you don't do any of them. So do you really love them, or are you just placating to try and convince people that you actually do like any of this story and you don't want to just make it bleh? Like, I don't understand. It's the craziest thing to say that. How do you say you loved it and then you couldn't even make 5 minutes for the dude? It's nuts.
Or better yet, take away the Leandrin scenes that go nowhere and develop a character that doesn't need to be developed yet.
Don't worry. They responded on Twitter saying that although Leandrin was not in the finale, we'll get a lot more of her in season 3.
Oh, joy. When she leaves and...
What is she going to do in season 3? Just get her captured.
She was supposed to... her role was... What they're going to do is take the book 3 plot where her and 12 other Black Aja ride out and try to capture Rand and forcibly convert him to the Shadow.
I don't know. They're bringing in Elida next season, so I feel like a lot of Leandrin's going to be political intrigue in the Tower with Elida.
You think they're going to replace Alviarin with Leandrin?
I think they're making Alviarin Leanne. Either that or she's going to be Masama. If they put Masama in. See, there's so many questions about what's being cut at this point, but they've done enough bullshit with making Leanne do questionable things and making her look incompetent, and then saying like, that whole scene at the top of the tower where she's like, when the Amyrlin's not here, I'm in charge. It's like, well, no, you're supposed to be with the Amyrlin, but like that whole power play thing she was doing while she was dressed like a vampire during the Exempted Trials and all that stuff at the top of the tower. Like, it's like, and then she does some of the stupidest stuff. It's like, so are you just stupid or are you just doing it on purpose? So a part of me thinks that Leanne is going to be, they'll give her Alviarin, and that's just another character they don't have to do. Maybe. I don't know. I've come up with some ridiculous shit, but it's come true. I don't know how, but
Can you not next season maybe, so we don't get another dagger on spear moment? I'd really like it.
I actually think that came from one of the his
Have
live
you-
stream.
Have you guys what? Which one? All of it?
The dagger on the pole.
The dagger thing came from like I saw that the dagger thing all started with that downward thrust image of him, and I'm like, I can't tell if that's a dagger on there or not. And then we saw the Heroes of the Horn scene where he's leading the front of the 5 heroes, and then all the midgets behind him.
Blade.
The CGI midgets and behind him doing whatever the fuck they're doing. I saw the staff, and then Trip shared the picture of the bedpost in Matt's hand, and we saw the raven on there. And once you put all those things together, you start figuring out, you start getting this picture of your head of something that is the most ridiculous thing you could ever think of, and then they do it, and you're like, well, wow.
Tell me they don't have a weapons master contracted without telling me they don't have a weapons master contracted for the
absolutely
show.
No, I mean maybe the same weapons master that Alec Baldwin had on that show, but we haven't seen anybody drop yet, so maybe not. Ooh, that was bad. That was a bad taste.
Shot through the hurt.
Sorry, that was in bad taste. But have you guys seen the audition lines? It's not the worst thing ever, but we're getting the audition Couladin.
Except for Couladin being correct that Rand is in fact a false dragon. Yeah, I don't.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Why would they even care that he's a dragon or not? That the dragon isn't the Karn to them. He's just the Karn.
Oh God, hold on.
Because we didn't do tier, so we can't.
Do I need to listen to this whole thing? Is that where we're at, Nate? Where are you at, Nate? Why don't you just hop on here?
I also haven't seen the line.
Wait. Go back and listen to what this shithead just said. What he said was not in the books. Hold on, wait. Are you talking about this line? Hold on. Let me look at this. Hold on a second. I don't know if he's talking about this or something else earlier. He didn't say so. Okay, hold on.
I'm looking for is I feel like audiences in television are connected when they're connected emotionally. So there are things that sometimes you have to put, like in this finale, there's a really important sequence from the books where Ingtar, who is the guy that was captured with Perrin and Loyal, is revealed to be a dark friend. And it's a big story in the books. It's something I love in the books. And we shot it. And it just, you couldn't emotionally connect to it with the number of other things that were going on in the finale. So
do you hear this Muppet saying okay? Like what he's saying is okay? It's not okay at all. Like, did you hear that? That wasn't me going, oh, okay. Was that one of you saying, oh, okay?
Yeah, so he filmed it. He wrote it. He pitched it. He filmed it, and it didn't emotionally connect. So
because we failed to freaking make anybody like Ingtar.
But he got to the end point and then realized that he did nothing to build it up, and it was like, oh well, right. I wasted the money anyway. Let's just cut it. Like I don't
exactly. No, that's exactly right. It's hey, we need Ingtar to die and have his redemption. Oh shit, we didn't film any of Ingtar. Well, I guess we're gonna have to cut that scene we just filmed. There goes $50,000. What's up, Nate?
What's that? I can't stay on for long, but I heard that bullshit, and like I agree with Trip what she's saying, that he's referring to Ingtar's stuff in the show, but also phrasing it in line with the books. His phrasing sucks, and that's why this crap gets all confused in the show, because you can't keep it straight even when you're having a general conversation. So if you're going to pull it from, say something from the books, then mention the fucking books, you numpty. Don't sit there and pull out, oh, well, Ingtar got captured with Perrin and Loyal, and in the book he has this redemption arc. Like, okay, so, but he also began the phrase with in the books. So he's sandwiching books around something that happens in the show, and then mentions something that's specific to the books that he loves. no wonder anybody can't make anything heads or tails out of this, because this guy can't communicate for shit.
And the whole reason why he wanted a redemption isn't present in the show. He never meets Rand. Like,
Yeah, you know.
Oh fuck! How do you go?
Yeah, he doesn't even know her. It's the same thing with like, it's the whole thing with like, and yes, the fire dragon was ridiculous. You're not even like, I'm not even gonna get into the fire dragon. The fire dragon, what you could save $100,000 on CGI and just get a large white dragon banner and have Rand hoisted at the end. It's like, oh wow, that's better.
You could even make miniature versions of it for us to buy.
Well, yeah,
Just
send
him a link to your Teespring. I'm sure you'll have it on there for him to buy.
Right? Well, it's crazy, right? It's like you just compare the things that Sanderson's doing with all his Stormlight stuff. I mean, like, look, I have a miniature Nightblood here. I bought it with money. Like,
that's cool.
Like, if you have a freaking, like, make a dragon banner that actually looks like a dragon banner, I will buy it. Like, how is it you've missed? You know, how many Heron Mark swords have you failed to sell in spike-ended axes because you just couldn't be fucked to put it in the story?
Mm-hmm. Like, how many people buy Game of Thrones swords? Like,
oh my god! Well, I got 2 Lord of the Rings swords on my wall and all this crap on my desk, right? I mean, it's crazy. Like, we want.
I'm looking forward to my Perrin shield.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's true. Yeah, that shield, cool shield, right? Oh my god,
mm-hmm.
He is going to walk around all season 3 with that, guys. Mark your words.
I'm still waiting on my Rand bondage set to come in, but
yeah, true. Well, the other part that when he's talking is you can't trust a word out of his mouth.
Yep,
he's a complete liar. Like, complete. 100%. Like. And yeah, so I just, oh boy, like I don't even know. And then, like, what? So we're getting Sea Folk for sure. So hold on. I don't know. Here, I'll put it at 2 times speed here, and maybe we can get through this. Let's see here. I don't know if I have okay, here we go. Man, now we're gonna get to listen to him go 2 times.
It was fun to see, like, the moments that were real crowd pleasers. You know,
were there any? Let's poll the audience. Were there any crowd-pleasing moments in the Wheel of Time Season 2? Nope.
Oh, man.
0.
Put 1 in the chat if you want to punch that guy in the fucking mouth.
Oh, boy. Hey.
What does he consider a crowd-pleasing moment?
When Egwene frees herself.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I was going to say the beatdown of Egwene.
I mean, it's crazy that you have even Matt Hatch going, why did they remove that whole scene for Nynaeve in the books? Why? And then freaking Sanderson going, because they needed Egwene to free herself because she needs to be a strong woman. Like, I need to get a clip of Heather Swanson just for this purpose, for the strong woman, right? I mean, it's nuts. Like it. What's up, Yadon? How you doing, buddy?
Oh, hi.
Aaron doesn't have a shared rumbles.
I just got home.
Yeah, I saw it. I wasn't even sure if I was going to go, but I figured we'd go for a little bit. So, Perrin does not have. Okay, Jay. Okay. Perrin does not and never will have a fucking shield. Okay, but they've said it a few times. And it just shows a complete lack of understanding of Perrin and Perrin's character. They say that they want Perrin to be the protector. So what do they do to make him look like a protector, even though all he does is cower behind everybody and not fight and do anything?
Kill women.
And all he does is murder people who are not looking at him. They give him a shield and go, hey, that guy's got a shield. He must be a protector. Because that's a much more interesting story than being a creator or a kill or a soldier or a killer. You know, the pros
his arc in the book was leadership. But even if they wanted to go the route and call him a protector, you still need to build up to that. Like, you need to hit the beats. So far, the only things we know about Perrin are he killed Layla, he's in love with Rand, and Egwene,
or both,
and then he killed Jeffrem. That's all he's done. Is those 3 things. Not a single one of those things is that of a protector.
Murdered Jeffrem too. I will use.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
meaning.
no, no. It's not, I will use anybody that wants to talk to me about that scene. He murdered him. Yeah, it might seem a little bit semantics, but it's a big difference between killing somebody in self defense and just straight up murdering somebody. And he
It
murdered
has
him in cold.
to, yeah, it has to do with who is the aggressor at the time. So in the book one, the White Cloaks are the aggressor.
Yeah.
In
Well,
in this scene, Perrin is the aggressor.
Well, and that I think that's one of the other things that I found sort of fascinating about the Sanderson talk was that they all liked that scene, and it annoyed me. But then I realized it's because not necessarily because it's a good arc, but it's an arc, and it's like a conflict that is now happening that actually makes sense. It's like, oh, Perrin is now angry because he killed his wolf, so now he's mad and he kills Jeffrem. So now they can have an arc. And that's all he's looking for. So it's like, hey, there's a little bit of a character arc there.
Right.
Well, good. It's like, no, it's still not
but
good.
It's very rudimentary algebraic.
It's bad. It's horrible.
It's like the algebra you learn in 6th grade rather than the algebra you learn in 12th grade.
Yep. In Daniel Green's video, his review of episode 8, he mentioned, he mentioned that he thinks the Tuark Rand scene is good for the show, only because it makes sense because they haven't shown any training with the sword. And let me finish. And Rand in the show has not been shown to be honorable at all. So he is right in those 2 points. But the counterpoint is, what requires in the Wheel of Time even more training than a swordmanship?
Channeling.
Exactly. And what does he not have this season?
He doesn't have anything. Balls.
Also, how would Rand not be honorable? He was raised by the most honorable person alive.
It's
well, his best friend is Matt Cawthon, and look at his parents. They obviously bled off onto him.
Oh yeah. Oh, that and he likes to
he was
fuck his girlfriend in a public room.
Well, and hold on. And how does like you start thinking about this stuff? Is how do any of these lines make sense? How is Matt now Ishmael's when he was born? If he was a hero of the Horn all the time, wouldn't that make him not his because he's a hero reborn?
Don't ask questions. Stop being a bigot.
But it's just like, Jesus Christ, man. You can't even get that shit right. It drives me crazy.
It is simple things. Like, if you're going to write a script, somebody needs to read through it and be able to be like, okay, this isn't adding up. This isn't adding up. And then you have to have the hubris, I guess you would say, to be able to go back and make the changes to make everything add up.
There are Dark Friends who are born into being Dark Friends.
Well, that's
but in the book, it's a secret, and he would know that he's a Dark Friend.
But yes, I'm not saying yes. Of course, like there's families of Dark Friends. Yes, but he said Matt was mine when he was born. And then we find out that Matt was most definitely not his when he was born because Matt is supposed to be a hero of the Horn every time he's recycled. So that means he doesn't have any darkness inside of him at all. That means he's a champion of the light every time he's born. So everybody that's saying Matt has darkness in him is full of shit.
Oh, don't you see? He really is the father of lies.
Oh, God. Fuck off. And I know you're right. Fuck off. Wow. It's about to become an ejection stream here in a fucking minute. Jesus, you're just trying to get me. All right, let's play some of this. Holy shit. Holy shit.
I have not actually seen this.
I haven't seen it at all either, man. I haven't seen it at all. So I got it at 2x speed because I can only take so much rave. So let's do it. If you need me to stop for something, tell me to pause. Just shout it out. We got 44 in chat. Thank you all for being here. I wasn't sure if I was going to
Yes, Grifter23X. That's exactly what I mean. You need to have an overarching person. It doesn't matter who it is, whether it's Sanderson or someone else, but they need to have final say in everything. So you can have other people write, but you need to have one person to control the vision of the whole.
Well, that's supposed to be your continuity director who is busy getting her nails done and having cocktails while Rafe and Maxim, go for their strolls on the Moroccan beach together, right? Instead of
Steve,
going over scripts and thinking of continuity errors, right?
I would not be.
Why use the guy that helped finish the series that had access to all of why use that guy? Why listen to any of his notes? Now, I'm not saying that all his ideas were the greatest because, but we don't even know at this point where his story plot threads would have gone because they just ignored them all. Like, I don't know what a Sanderson Wheel of Time show looks like because they never took any of his notes or like that many. So, but why we utilize that guy? I mean, Robert Jordan only trusted him to finish the series, whether you liked how he finished it or not. I think it was fine. But there were some misses, sure. But overall, I was happy. Most people were happy, and
Hey, I was happy. I bought the books on the day they released.
Yeah, me too.
And then read them all in the same day.
Why use the guy that Robert Jordan trusted? Robert Jordan and Harriet. Why trust that guy to help me write a show or look for details or say what might not work? Nah, that guy's got no idea. Fuck him.
And say what we will about how he finished the series. The one thing I've never seen Sanderson in any video where he's talked about his ending, he's never come off as haughty or above criticism. He's always
come out and said he made some bad choices and stuff he didn't know how to deal with.
Yep.
He said it
Yeah,
straight
but
up.
that's perfectly fair. I think many authors have that same problem where they don't know how they want to finish something. There's always going to be issues.
When it's doubly hard, it was and I'm not. This isn't the Sanderson excuse train, but look, he's never said it was perfect. He's never said that he didn't make some mistakes and wished he could have done some things over. He said many times, or he knows that Matt suffered. He knows that Fane suffered. He knows that other characters that he didn't connect with or have notes for, they suffered because he didn't know what to do with them. So,
well, that's also where I get off on giving him kudos for Androl. There's some people that hate the fact that he created Androl whole cloth, but at the same time, I'm like, he needed to create something to inject his ability to write into the story.
And he did technically fulfill every promise of Loghain's story arc, but it just wasn't satisfactory to me.
Yeah, so
he's the perfect guy to head a project like this because he wouldn't be hurt by any criticism you levy on like a script he wrote.
Right, and that's my point, right? So I'll stop making excuses. I'm going to hit play. Here we go.
Rand let use his powers, especially Matt blowing the horn.
Wait, hold on. Did we already fucking hold on? Wait.
When Rand let use his powers, especially.
So we're saying I have to slow it down a little bit. So we're saying Rand letting loose with his powers is a crowd pleaser.
Apparently.
So we're saying
What
Rand.
powers did he let loose?
We're just talking about Rand cheating and killing Turok. That apparently is a crowd pleaser. Negative, not a crowd pleaser. Everybody hated it.
I hated it.
Oh, that was Indiana Jones.
Oh, did you hear that one?
Indiana Jones. Even Daniel Green said, "Oh, is this Indiana Jones?" And then, of course, and like, look. I don't. I'm sure I haven't watched it. I probably will never watch it, but I'm sure Daniel Green, like, it sounds like you've watched it, Chris. I'm sure it turned into like the excuse party, or like some of it's bad, but it's overall it's okay.
What would you say? What would you say he gave it out of 10? What did he rate it? The episode, just based on his comments in Sanderson's stream.
Oh, what? Okay, so hold on. So, based on his comments from Sanderson's stream, 6.
Exactly.
Yeah, he gave it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah,
which is fair if you're considering like cinematography, like just the sweeping shots and the fact that it's not fuzzy.
Well, I think
It sure was.
They gave it a 5. Look, you're never gonna get a 5 out of any of them. It's just not gonna happen. Especially like you heard them at the end. It's like you could tell the end of that stream was basically them going. I think at some point they may have realized how whether you think they were going really, really hard or not. I think they realized at a point that they're like, or at least Sanderson did, was like, ooh, I need to start like saying some nicer things because I've been really harder. Because I feel like the last 20 minutes was them trying to pull back a lot of it.
Okay, so I look at it as like Sanderson does compliment sandwich throughout the whole thing, and I look at the whole as a compliment sandwich, where he starts off by praising the show, and then like the middle, like what would you say, hour and a half is him kind of bashing it, and then like the last 10 minutes of it is him kind of giving it some kudos again.
Well, I mean, and not to, we'll play some more of this here in a minute. I slowed it down, but my big thing with the whole compliment sandwich thing was the compliments that were given by almost everybody were pretty much vapid. I like the direction. I like the way that looked, and that was it. Like no detail, just a quick, oh, I like that thing. No detail about why it was good or what it meant, or this, that, the other. And then, we go into the criticisms, which were extremely detailed and, for the most part, on point. So the one I think about most is the whole parent thing. It's like, oh, I like the parent thing. It's like, well, why? Why? So, there we go.
To lead off with, we're going to talk a little bit about the stuff from the books that was incorporated into the season. And I know that moment was very important for people. And
a little bit
so I guess I would ask about your approach to the whole concept of the heroes of the Horn and bringing them back and making sure.
Wait, sorry, you want me to
go back a little bit? Go back a couple seconds. I want to hear.
Do I need to slow? You're gonna make me slow it down again, huh?
No, you don't need to go back. I just wanted to hear it again. Because I think he said bits in the story, as in they're only taking bits. So even he's throwing shade at Rafe. If I heard that right.
I just want to hear the one person whoop at them talking about Rafe or Rand's Two Rocks scene. There was literally one person in this obviously overcrowded auditorium.
Is it? Well, I guess we'll get there. Hopefully, we'll see if we even get there. Okay, here we go.
When Rand let loose his powers, especially Matt blowing the horn. And I guess that's a good question, kind of to lead off.
See,
one whoop about Matt blowing the horn, which he didn't even want to put it on, and there you go. He didn't even want to do the horn in the Horn of Valere story. Good job, buddy.
With we're going to talk a little bit about the stuff from the books that was incorporated into the season. And I know that moment.
Did you say the little bit of stuff from the books?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear.
And I guess that's a good question, kind of to lead off with. We're going to talk a little bit about the stuff from the books that was incorporated into the season. And I know that
a little bit about.
People.
Oh yeah,
so I guess I would ask about your approach to the whole concept of the heroes of the Horn, bringing them back and making sure that moment hit the way it needed to.
Yeah.
All right. So hold on a second here. All right. So this is okay. Wow. Does anybody find this a little bit interesting, since the whole live stream with Sanderson was basically Sanderson saying Rafe didn't want to put the Heroes of the Horn in the show. Now the first question at the New York Comic Con panel is talking about how he wanted to put the Heroes of the Horn in the show.
I think that it's them trying to cover their ass, because remember Misara came out as well claiming it was never too, so I feel like they had her push back against it and basically lie, and now they're trying to double down and be like, this was us all along.
No, that's what I'm saying, is this is a direct response to the Sanderson live stream, because Sanderson said what he said, and I completely 100% believe Sanderson over these two idiots, because once again, it was directly in front of. It was a live take. It wasn't something he rehearsed. He wasn't just sitting there thinking about it. He has no reason to lie. What reason does Sanderson have to lie that they were talking about not putting the Heroes of the Horn in the show? He has no reason to lie about it. These people do, because it makes them look like idiots.
Yeah. I think that if they kept on pushing the issue, I would love to see Sanderson come out and be like, "Oh, here are the rough drafts that I was sent."
He'd never. It would be great, but he'll never do it.
I'd love it though.
Even if he hasn't technically signed an NDA, I don't know if he could legally release those.
He'd never do it. That's not what he does. But all right, here we go. Keep going.
For us, whenever we're taking one of the kind of iconic moments from the books and figuring out how to do it, I always go back to the emotional piece of it, and the audience emotionally understanding what's going on. So for us, it's Matt blowing the horn. So how can we show that this is about who his character is? That he.
Does this sound like a bunch of word sandwich garbage to me?
Yep.
To anybody else?
Yeah, he's
It's
trying to
all
key it all to
lies.
emotion.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody starts talking about emotions like that, I instantly start tuning them out because they aren't giving a logical response.
This is a great comment. And eventually it's got to turn somewhere. Uh, is it their turn of Cobra? It's really amazing these idiots are allowed to burn much money at such a negative return. I know Amazon uses tax loopholes, but this is insane. It's crazy. At some point, it's got to start catching up to them. All the money that's being lost by these. I think it's starting to already. They've canceled a crap ton of shows, but
They have, but they also signed on the majority of the cast for 3 years, and I think breaking contract would still cost them a decent sum of money.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm talking about. Well, they've canceled a bunch of shows to make up for the losses. I think, and some of the shows that they're just stuck with, they're getting through.
Yeah.
All I can say is, oh, you finish.
The whole line that Rafe just gave there is completely counter to everything that they've already presented about Matt in the show. The darkness, the whole I'm gonna drink this tea and get high off of it bullshit scene, and then sitting there saying, "Well, I'm gonna have him blow the horn to show what kind of show about what his character is." It's like, how have you established anything other than just this wretched human being that abandons his friends?
Yeah, it's just like I don't know.
I just don't get how anyone can be satisfied with that scene because, like you said, he is wretched. Everything he's done. If there had been one moment outside of him helping his sisters cross the open courtyard where they'll get hunted by Trollocs.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's crazy too because it's like, but it's like, hell, Nerporial put it to. Was trying to be nice to somebody, and the guy turns on him and was like, "What do you mean they didn't put anything? The Horn of Valyr's in it, the dagger's in it, this thing is in it too." It's like that doesn't mean anything. They're just objects. Like, who cares if the Horn of Valyr's in it? That's not the Horn of Valyr.
I think that a lot of these people are like Matt Hatch. After watching that live stream last week with him, I am now under the impression that none of these people understand what the novels are about.
Yep.
Because
I think it's
big point.
Key jingles.
Dude, I heard King Jingles. Like somebody in their car. All right, I'm gonna play some more here.
He's a man who doesn't think he's a hero, and actually is, and so letting that be kind of a shining moment in that arc for him, and then also.
So this
he has never had a moment where he's not thought he's the hero.
You know, the thing that would actually work is if every time Matt is always negative about himself, that he gambles and he will steal money here and there, but whenever people need him, he's always there and he's always extremely negative about himself.
Oh, you mean like in the books?
Yeah, and then he finally has a confidence shift at this moment. He's like, "Oh, I'm a hero of the Horn."
Do you guys realize, like, this is clearly, like, so this is them fixing Matt, you know, because they said they were going to get Matt back on track. So he has to have a fucking inanimate object tell him he's a good person because it magically told him that even though he might be a piece of shit in his everything he's done his whole life, he's a thief, he's a he steals stuff. He's done bad things, but you know what? A horn told me that I am a hero of the Horn, so that's all erased, and I am a good man now. It's
okay, like, I think I figured out what they mean by him leaving the show ruined it. Remember how Machin Shin is the truth sayer?
Oh, true.
You know, little based.
Yeah.
Machin Shin was probably going to tell Matt that he was a hero. And Matt was going to have his moment of revelation, only it had to be delayed by 8 episodes because the actor left.
I think you might be dead on, yeah, right? Like, it's crazy. That's his shining moment of that arc. Like, that's not an arc, you freaking... It's like, bad, Horn tells me good. It's like, and then what's the first thing he does? He stabs Rand with a fucking spear, like a javelin. It's like, well done, hero.
I have an honest question for everyone here. Do we think Rafe is lying right here that he believes this is a character moment for Matt, or does he truly believe that he set up a character moment for Matt?
No, he does.
I mean,
I think he totally does.
no, that's just more disappointing than he was a liar.
I think he totally thinks, like, I think he said, look, I think he's proud of himself for a lot of this stuff because, like, oh man, we got that in, man, we got that Horn of Valyr scene, and then now Matt is right back on track. He's a hero of the Horn, and he's a good guy now. I think I think they're all patting himself on the
Like
back.
he says it, like the line before, how Matt is not a hero.
Yeah, he just said it, but I think Chris, I think he thinks he's doing a phenomenal job. I really do. But I think in here somewhere he tells everybody to watch the show on repeat while they're doing their laundry so they can get the view count up. But I'm not sure if that comes from this or something else. But
Do we know if Amazon counts every view as the same, or they only count unique viewers?
I don't know. Somebody's like, did you see the same Twitter line as I did? Because somebody said that exact same thing. They said, I think Amazon's probably more invested in getting unique viewers than to repeat minutes.
The only thing minutes does is get them on the Nielsen chart.
There you go. CH is thank you, CH, for being here and pre-warning us of some of these moments. So yeah, so that'll be good. Let's keep going here. Oh my god.
So including the character who had died earlier in the season so that you could kind of understand and process as an audience member who doesn't know the books that that's really what the Heroes of Horn are.
So confirmed, we made Uno a hero of the Horn because nobody knows what the fuck the Horn of Valyr is or does or why it exists.
Because they had to make up a bullshit song in season 1, episode 3, instead of having Tom tell the Heroes of the Horn stories.
Does the audience even know why the hero calls back people, or why people are called back by the Horn?
No. Uno's what? Why would they? Uno is a hero of the Horn because he got killed on a spike for being for going. I'm not.
Well, no, he's Guidal Kane.
He's Guidal Kane, but the issue with him being Guidal Kane,
he's not. Jesus Christ!
The issue is that he does get spun out a few years before Birgitta, but the fact that he is like 50 years old in this current age, and Birgitta is still in the Horn, it's like.
It's totally like.
Did she die like 10 years prior at Shining Walls?
Guys. This is like the whole freaking the whole flicker Kalendor thing. They don't know who Guidal Kane is. Okay, they don't know who he is. They don't know who Brigitte is either. They just know there's a girl with a bow that has a braid. They don't know anything about her other than we need this actress to look like this. They don't know what a Guidal Kane is. They'll be like, what is a Guidal Kane?
And also, why does Uno have any sort of vested interest in talking with Matt, whom he's never fucking met in the show before?
That's true.
Well, because Matt is the hero of the Horn, and the heroes all hang out.
There we go.
So I called that out the other week, and then afterwards I had that thought, like they all hang out. And
they have Tar just go to the bar and hang out in Tar.
Remember how that's why they did it with Matt, is because they didn't have Rand there for Arthur Hawkwing to reference as Luce Theron and make that connection.
I kind of thought Uno was actually was breaking down the fourth wall and talking to the viewer, as in, of course. That's what I thought.
I sort of thought that too, but then I think I'm not sure. I sort of thought that too, Kat, but it's bad regardless. Oh my god. Oh wait, why couldn't the ships be destroyed by Brigitte? Of course, because they wanted to give Moraine, because Moraine had to do the cruise missile weave that she learned in Kirheen reading her books, I guess. Oh boy.
Okay,
here we go.
These people that we've seen before from ages past that come back when you throw this one fight for life.
I guess let's talk a little bit about your
hold up.
Go ahead.
You just talked about how they bring heroes back from ages past. Where in the show have they established that?
They haven't. But that's supposed to be what bringing Uno. All right, man. Thanks, Nate. Thanks for hopping in, buddy. We'll talk to you.
Talk to y'all later. Have a good one.
Yeah.
I still go back to that thing. They should have had Tom tell the Great Hunt of the Horn.
Oh, 100%. That's not even. It's not. Does she tell? Why?
Oh wait, Celine does. Now that he mentioned
In the
that,
show?
she did. I think she did at one point.
Why would the viewer care what she's saying to Rand about the horn
Also-
when they're nowhere? Like it was it during the fake party in Kirheen? Is that when they talked about the horn, when they were talking about how the horn is just a ploy to get the pores out of Kirheen? Is that what she told
scene
that?
before that, when she was talking, when he saw people signing up and getting branded as what is it called, the hunters or whatever it's called.
Yeah, so a 2-second line, just throwaway line to try and explain what the Horn of Valyr is when they're trying to get red wine to get get. I'm not even gonna do it. Let's keep going. Like, because this is gonna be a doozy right here. Let's talk a little bit about your approach to adapting the books. Well, see, guys, I took these books and I lit them on fire, and then we proceeded.
Then the pieces that weren't too burned to read, I
Yeah,
adapted.
exactly. Those are the ones we put on the post-it notes and we decided, let's try it. Here we
So
go.
this season adapted books 2 and 3.
Don't fucking
And-
say that. It is such a where. Somebody
Where is
tell
book
me,
3?
Where is Dragon Reborn anywhere? Like where?
That was just Rand's arc of being alone from his friends. That was the
And-
only
and
reason they
and
adapted
and,
book 3
Well,
was to
replacing
have
Vol.
him be a side character.
Well, that's what I said it was, but just like it was the excuse to make Rand go off on his own, right? So, but. Oh my god!
I'm angry too.
So when you're incorporating that much material, and it's such a sprawling canvas, obviously, it's part of the appeal of the franchise and the books. How do you go about deciding, like, well, we need this maybe we can adjust? Like, what's the process of adaptation? Like, how do you?
Oh boy!
Look
Am
at
I
his face.
CH? Am I
He's
gonna
about
need
to
brain
lie.
pack here? Am I about to lose my freaking brain? Do I need something to break on something? This is how, like, so this is also going to be, this should be shown in colleges and anybody that's trying to do any screenwriting or adaptation work on what not to do, because he hasn't adapted a thing. Oh my gosh, here we go.
Is there a first principle that you operate from?
Yeah, the first principle for me is always staying true to kind of the heart and the feeling of the books. And
I'd like
So-
how the interviewer gave him like a step off point with the first word of his reply.
Well, these are look, it's a Comic-Con panel, okay? This is very, very, very rehearsed and very, very staged. Obviously, right? Do they take questions from the audience, and those are going to be staged as well? This is the biggest bunch of bullshit like
Who
ever.
would be a Muppet if you adapted a Muppet series?
Superman. Oh, sorry.
and making sure that is always conveyed in the show. But in terms,
Did you say that's not always conveyed in the show? Is that what you just said?
Making sure that it is always.
Hold on, let me go back.
Like, how do you, is there a first principle that you operate from?
yeah, the first principle for me is always staying true to kind of the heart and the feeling of the books, and making sure that is always conveyed in the show.
So it's always the emotion, the heart and feeling,
The heart.
not the actual story, just the feels.
Well, the story has heart and feels, but you can't have the heart and feels without the setups.
The heart and fears come from the story, because how you tell the story creates the hearts and feels.
He doesn't even know what the heart of the books is.
I think he's just going with his feels, like how he felt about the story,
Right.
and that's what he's staying true to.
Yep, I liked it. Well, yeah, and I think there's 100. I like Egwene. I like the White Tower. I like Moraine. So I like those characters. So they're going to be the characters I want to tell the story about. Even if so it's like, but how that applies to the book. I mean, he's even done all them dirty. That's the thing. The characters he like. So it's like I don't understand. Like I don't understand how he what he just says. How he feels like he accomplished that at all.
I'm just waiting for him to get to the season 3 question on
Choices
book
that we
4.
Alright, I'll
want
push
have
forward.
to choose what pieces we can do and what pieces we can't. It's really about leaning into the things that feel the most unique in this world. The fantasy space is a very crowded one on television right now, and so Wheel of Time, even though the books were written years ago.
Okay, hold up. Fantasy is not crowded right now. There is no fantasy. There is one, and that is Hot D.
Well, I mean, Rings of Power as well, but
That's
whether you like
not
it or not, it's
fantasy.
there.
That's garbage.
Well, yeah, but it's still there. Like I mean, but you're correct. It's not overrun with a whole bunch of. We haven't seen it. Like it's just patently false. It doesn't matter. And if your show is good, who cares? Who cares if there's 20 fantasy shows on? If there's 20 good shows, they're gonna get watched. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just tell a good story. That's it. It doesn't matter.
It still feels incredibly fresh in the landscape today, and so you'll often find us leaning into the stories.
I hate hearing that about the Wheel of Time. What theme, what arc, what in-world thing is outdated from 20 years ago?
None. It is like Tolkien. It was written without an agenda, and that's why it's timeless.
It's just it doesn't. I don't care if it feels like now. Tell my fantasy story in my fantasy setting. That's it.
If I wanted to watch a current day fantasy series, I would have watched Willow before it was canceled.
I'd watch freaking like God. I don't even know. Like it's a fantasy setting. Like I don't even know if they've done one of those. They fucked up Dresden. Like I mean, like I don't like. I don't like. Here, right. If the fantasy shows were good, the popular genre would be increasing. A rising tide raises all boats. That's correct. That's what I was trying to say. It's what just because there's a lot of them doesn't mean if you don't do a good job that people won't watch it because there's a lot of them. It's the opposite. By you doing well, you might encourage other people to watch other shows that they might not have watched because, oh hey, this is fantasy. I like this fantasy. Maybe there's some other good ones out there. I didn't realize I liked the genre.
Nice story with Egwene this season.
Wait, what did she say? What did he just say?
He's talking about how the Shanshan, the Damani, and Egwene this season.
You'll often find us leaning into the stories that do feel the freshest, like the Shanshan, the Damane story with Egwene this season, Nynaeve, and the Arches. Like these are pieces of books 2 and 3 that really cut through and feel very fresh today.
The arch, not the arches.
Good stuff through all 15 of the books that still feels fresh today. But that's usually the stuff that we'll lean into the most.
I guess let's talk about
Why does that feel the most fresh today? If anything,
why? I don't even understand that. Slavery feels like because slavery feels fresh today. Is that what he's saying?
Today is because of all of, and it gets into politics, but certain protests that started happening.
It's like Jesus Christ, bro!
And we'll be backwards.
My God!
But also it's the girls are the focal point of those story arcs, not
True.
Rand, not Perrin with the Wolf brothers and his story arc, and not Matt's. Obviously, that's why he leaned into them. It's because the girls were the center of the story.
And I think that's more the right. Instead of the gobbledygook that he said, I think you're exactly right. It's because it's the characters he liked. It's the girl characters. That's the story he wanted to tell. Not because it's more fresh.
The thing is,
alien.
Good.
The thing is they could have done the story. They could have done their new turning. They could have made the Champion of the Light female this time around. Like they could have done all of that, but they chose to try and adapt the books while also shitting on them, and it doesn't make sense. Like I know that you probably wouldn't have been happy if we had had a female Chosen of the Light, but nevertheless, you could have still told a
You could have told a story. Yeah, sure. You could tell, but like when you're going that far into telling different, so changing things, why are you calling it something that it's not? It's just you're systematically changing how things work because you want it to be a girl.
Well, that's the core of what they're doing, right? They know if they were to make their own fantasy series, it wouldn't sell. No one would watch it. They have to ride the coattails of these giants like Witcher or Wheel of Time or Rings of Power.
And also, I mean, the whole point of the male story of Rand as the Dragon Reborn is the taint of Saidin that, drives them insane, which of course they've not delved into either. But that whole how Luce Theron was communicating with him, and that wouldn't work with a woman channeling Saidar.
Well, there's no reason to be afraid of a female dragon.
No, hold up. There is a way they could have done it. They could have had it that the females, led by Amaterasu, assaulted the Dark One's prison and sealed
But
it.
then what's
the
the point?
backlash was on the women. It would have also allowed them to tell their coherent story about how men are empowered in everything, and it would have actually made
that would have been
logical sense.
It could have been worse. Holy shit! God damn! I get what you're saying, but holy crap!
Without feeling like a sort of fake version of some like exotic culture from our world, the American accents play a big part in that. So I guess, what was your approach to the design of them, the look, the feel, the sound, the whole Sean Chan vibe?
Yeah, our team in Prague is incredible at sort of how they create characters, how they create worlds, and talk about the new worlds that we get to go to that year. So for this season, the Sean Chan was obviously a huge piece of that. And my first sit downs with the teams were difficult because I was basically like, okay, so what we need is a group of people who feel entirely alien to our world, but also within the world.
Maybe have aliens part of that alien army. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe have some like beasts and creatures that look, look like they're from another world.
Like that would have made sense.
All you need is a Grom and a rocket, and you're like, holy crap! What the hell? They're on a different fucking level, right? I mean,
you could sell a baby Grom plushie. If you
right,
had
well, yeah, like it's like all
you could sell Torok and plushies as well.
You could just cutesy versions of it, cool versions, like it's like statues. I mean, like Sanderson's not doing all that shit for his books that aren't even like no, he's not doing all that. What do you got for me here, Mule? Hold on, let me bring this up here. Hold on, one sec. I don't
keep derailing that.
No, you're good. I just skipped around. I couldn't deal with the fucking lies about how great everybody is with the Sean Chan. Everybody's so great, and everything we did with the Sean Chan was the best. I can't do it. Why did Pat and Fane nail the Fade into the door? Why aren't Nynaeve, Perrin, and Egwene surprised Rand isn't dead? Why didn't any of the Aes Sedai in the tower think Nynaeve was the Dragon Reborn? How is Suan able to use the one power against what was a weapon against land? Why did Ishmael need Matt and Carrion, and why did you need me to do it? How is Moraine able to kill so many innocent Damani slaves with the one power? Why didn't Rand do anything all season? Why are men's visions bullshit? Why did you not do Ingtar's story? Pat and Fane and Dane Barrow are now gay.
It explains how Pat and Fane flew so high in the ranks of the White Cloaks if he's stooping Dane in the
But it's just like how this man's mind thinks. It's like, you're talking shit about my show? I've just made two characters gay and there's nothing you can do about it. It's like, why are you weaponizing that too? Like, I don't like that's the other thing. It's like, why like I don't care. Like, why are you weaponizing? Like, I feel like that's your
questions and answers. I feel like I've watched other interviews of like actors or directors, and they actually answer the questions.
I mean, we probably had truly hundreds of meetings about the Sean Chan.
Oh god, they're still talking about the Sean Chan. Sorry.
Yeah, and every time he raises like an issue with the show, it's always someone else's fault. Like we couldn't have a good Matt arc because the actor left last season. We can't
This
do
is
anything.
also, by the way, this right here, this guy looking like, what the fuck is he talking about? That's the thumbnail of the clip. So good choice. I love it because this guy's thinking what we're all thinking. I think
one thing that I really
maybe I don't know. He's shaking his head because he's mad at the guy taping. So maybe not.
Now the book cloaks are gonna see this.
Like a short story within the larger narrative. Like I remember watching with my family the episode where Nynaeve goes through the arches, and when she finally gets out, my kid turned to me and was like, "That was a good episode." And then the opening title pops up because it felt so like satisfying and fulfilling in and of itself. Like, was that something that you did on purpose? Like, with that?
Okay, we're gonna stop it.
It's not just our heroes. In other words, like, how do you like when you sit and you watch, your whatever rough cut of it? Like, kind of like, that's kind of off balance. This needs a little more weight. This needs a little, like, is that like kind of how it works? Like you kind of snip and add and tweak, or
Yeah, I think you have to look at it that way because it is so big and so complicated, and you never want the audience to lose emotional track of the characters. At least
More emotional track. We lost track of every single fucking character, man. None of them make sense.
for me, that's the main thing I'm looking for. Is I feel like audiences in television are connected when they're connected emotionally. So there are things that sometimes you have to put, like in this finale, there's a really important sequence from the books where Ingtar, who is the guy that was
this is what we listened to before,
is revealed to be a dark friend, and it's a big story in the books. It's something I love in the books, and we shot it, and it just, you couldn't emotionally connect to it with the number of other things that were going on in the finale. So we ultimately had to pull it in the cut process because it disrupted your ability to follow our lead characters through it. Although I think, Holly might kill me, but that will be a deleted scene.
Hold up.
So you can see it.
Okay.
Greg,
I love how, okay, I wanted to get into this one because I'd seen it already, or bits of it, but like, that just makes Ingtar dying so much worse. Because remember how, like, there was some people on Twitter that were like, it is so awesome that in this lifetime, Ingtar is no longer a dark friend. And then you have this guy getting up and being like, haha, he's still a dark friend, and he didn't repent.
Yeah, he didn't repent. He didn't, he just died. And then I do like, and then like I mentioned it earlier, I do love how whoever is near the person taping here is gobbling this up like it's okay.
So the Ingtar arc is really awesome for Ingtar, but it's also super important for Rand, and it shows him the effect that he has on the people around him.
But instead, we got Anavir, Rand fucking Lanfear, Warders moping, pointless garbage.
Moraine taking a bath and filling up her tub with water. Yeah.
Because Ingtar is fantastic, and it's a great scene, and it's wonderful from the books. And I think it should be in the canon of the world, but it just didn't make sense in the finale.
You talked about how you need to keep...
Is it here? Okay. No, it's not okay. It's garbage. That's not a good answer. That's a terrible answer. We didn't fucking find a place to make you feel about Ingtar, so we had to leave it out because we forgot to tell Ingtar's story because we were busy telling our Alana and Leandrin and everybody else's story. So we didn't make you feel anything about Ingtar. So the point where you're supposed to feel this big redemption story between Rand and Ingtar, we had to cut it because it doesn't make any sense because we forgot to do the work. How is that okay? Why? That's okay. Okay. There's a deleted scene. That'll work. It's like, come on.
He's a film critic too, by the way.
Is it ever a challenge?
With this guy?
Anybody, really. But is it ever a challenge?
Yeah, the guy he's talking to is a film critic.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sure he's been critical of something.
Yeah, I mean, our actors are incredible because they also, and I think a lot of the reason that we gravitated towards the actors that are in the show is because they are drawn in by the emotion too.
Jesus Christ! Drawn in by, I can't, is there...
What are we drawn into
skip around.
Emotion to?
Drawn into... No, just tell I'm so tired of him emotional.
Fancy that he's gone too far and he's got too much detail that it's garbage.
With Lanfear, I'm glad you brought her up because one thing that seems so crucial to this season and to the story in general is like you do kind of have to believe that it's possible for Rand to choose these people who, after all, used to be his friends and have their own.
No, they were never his friends.
Dude, this guy is just this guy is okay. So this is what this is. This is supposed to be the straight guy, straight man. I shouldn't say straight guy, but straight man, like given the I'm the audience. This is how you should be feeling, and then him going, oh yeah. That's right. It's crazy. Like I can't like. Can we get some real questions?
He's
please?
About to give a response where he says we were digging into the emotion of Rand and Lanfear.
Part of watching the show and feeling the show. When you read the books, especially in these early ones, actually, the Forsaken are much more kind of like big bad guy. Like Ishamael presents as a flaming head that just screams nightmare things at Rand, which is very cool when you're in the books. But it isn't until the later books that you start to realize who Ishamael really is and why he wants to do the things he does.
You mean like when he fights him in the sky? That wasn't scary or terrifying or cool at all?
Yeah, there's no reason to have a cool flaming head guy that's nuts. Like, I'm sure no actor wants to play that guy.
Yeah, because a guy who's been awake for 3,000 years, systematically destroying the world and setting it up for his victory, is totally uncompelling.
Yeah, that's not an interesting character at all. We have to skip right to the end and get to Morin's motivation because, well, we're stupid.
Arthur Harkwing, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Arthur Harkwing starts out as a champion of the White Tower. He assembles the South together to push against a false dragon. And after defeating that false dragon, he turns against the White Tower, partially because of
Bonwin. Bonwin tried to chain him up and play him as a fool.
That, and because Ishamael was whispering in his ear to push him against him.
3 episodes of Leandrin and her motivations too, only to kill off her son. Yep. It's like I find this. He's done this now several times. Oh well, that's cool for the books, but not. It's like, yeah, it would have been like because the Balrog with that flaming monster, that would have been cool for the movie, but we just who believes there's a demon made of fire and shadow? Like
the Balrog is fake. It shouldn't have existed in that movie and a sentence.
Right.
Whoever believed Gandalf would survive falling.
Who would ever believe that Gandalf fought a demon of fire and shadow, to the death? Like, we don't need that in there. I mean, that's pretty much what we're saying. Is there's a flaming head guy that has a cool fight with the lead character, but nah. It's like, what are you talking about?
You know
that's what makes Balsamon great. Is he's crazy.
You know what it might be? Because Sanderson mentioned in the stream that he told Rafe that you can't have Baalzamon fight in season 1, Baalzamon fight in season 2, and then Baalzamon fight in season 3, and it all kind of be the same thing. Maybe Rafe is interpreting that differently. Maybe he interpreted that you can't have any flaming head Baalzamon fight. Period.
Well, it's real easy. You just have him kill Agenor and Balthamol instead.
Yeah, exactly. You could have had Agenor as his lieutenant that he fights at the end of season 1, and then you could have had Baalzamon at the end of season 2.
Well, I mean, you gotta. There's a tons of ways to do it. You have Balsamon bring them or something, and freaking I don't know. He wounds him and flees, and he has to flee, and then Balthamol and Agenor they're left to do it themselves or something. And I don't know. There's a ways to do it, but you're just too stupid to do that.
I'm not saying there isn't a way. I'm saying that he probably just misunderstood.
Yes.
What trying to get across with his
No. I think I knew that's what you meant. It always, whenever we start talking about the things they could have done and the excuses that they make of why they didn't do it, it starts getting me more and more pissed because it's like, again, and this is again something else that Sanderson said in the thing, is, it started off as, you know what, we've been waiting for 30 years for this to be adapted. What was I? Did I get what I wanted? No, of course not. And you know what? I'm actually pretty sad that I did not get to see Rand fighting Balsamon, cutting his cord to the Dark One, and then fucking lightning bolting a whole bunch of Trollocs at freaking Tarwin's Gap. It makes me sad that I didn't get to see that. And we'll never will.
People try to say that scene is Rand weaving things too complicated for his beginning. But if you actually go back and read the scene, he's pounding on the ground because he's pleading with the creator to not make him a channeler. And as he's doing that, it shakes the ground and causes the Trollocs to fly into the air, then fall to their death. There's all these... He's barely in control. And the only thing that he does that's really complicated is opening a way to Baalzamon's Dream Shard. And he does that because Baalzamon has been teaching him to do how to get there the entire length of the book.
I also heard rumors. I don't necessarily know if I agree with it, but somebody surmised that tapping into the power also weakened the barrier between the waking world and the dream world, sort of like how the horn does. And that's how it was always hidden, was because it takes the same process to find it that finding something in the world of dreams does.
That-
Need.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to iterate. Only with he said it because he didn't get to see the fight in the clouds. I say it because I haven't seen anything from the Wheel of Time yet, and I know I won't probably in my lifetime. Probably in my lifetime.
Also, one thing to keep in mind: he said he'd read the scripts for all the episodes. He had only watched episode 8, and so that probably means he was talking about how they foreshadowed Nynaeve's block in episode 8. That means in the original script they didn't have her block in there because she gets over her block in episode 7.
I don't even
episode 6.
I don't even know why he said that because I don't even know what the hell his block is. Her block is. Nobody knows what her block is. All we know is she choked and couldn't channel. Like it's like like I get what you're saying, but it's like I don't know. It's like
and with like
rewatch it.
Leandrin, she was speaking to Nynaeve about different ways to channel the one power, and she mentions
there's only one
rage as a method to channel it. Like it's not a block at all. It's that her method of channeling is rage, but the Aes Sedai are trying to teach her a different way.
Or so, that's what. It's I don't know. The whole block they've butchered the whole block situation. We'll just put it at that.
Then you want to see people who made that choice for reasons that you really understand. And so we've gone out of our way to every person who's chosen the shadow on the show. You hopefully have some kind of emotional understanding of why they did it.
There's a character I want to talk about who is not.
I have no idea why anybody's gone to the shadow of this show other than Pussy and we were lovers once.
I can't get over the fact that my son had a full life and now he's dying.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, my son is old and he's dying and he's sick and I can't let him go. So I went to the shadow.
Dumped me for a hotter younger model.
Before they continue, can we talk about something with Hopper that I wanted to bring up?
Sure.
I hated how every single time after he meets Hopper, he's like, Hopper, stay and be a good dog. Don't follow me. I hated that because Hopper was a wolf. Hopper, I believe at one point Perrin does tell him to stay, and he's like, I am not some he basically says some domesticated animal that lies by your fire.
Yeah, they completely misunderstand. They don't understand the wolves. The wolves are highly intelligent. The wolves teach Perrin a ton of stuff because they're smarter than him. It's not like he's walking around with them on a leash. But that's how they treat it, like he's a puppy.
Young bull. I mean, that's his whole demeanor.
Yeah.
At one point, Hopper, and this isn't, I think, Sanderson books in book 12. Hopper does refer to Perrin as a pup.
Yeah, they all do. Because he gets the name. It's like Kat said. He gets the name Young Bull because he's rash and quick to make a decision, and he charges in.
And he has an axe with
a spike
horns.
Yeah. So
there's so many layers of complexity, and so I think my time is well spent talking to the actors and the directors about what those layers of complexity are, so that when they step onto set, they can just feel it and all.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
We have incredible actors on the show. Some actors that.
Jesus Christ! You've said that like 5 times.
To make Rand make sense almost the way.
Yeah, we feel like that's such an important part of watching the show and feeling the show. If you
feeling the show,
especially these early ones, actually, the Forsaken are much more kind of like big bad guy. Like Ishamaya presents as a flaming head that just.
Wait, did we go backwards somewhere? Oh, yeah, we did.
CGI with wolves. Wolves are very hard to work with, and so you really don't want to put them with your actors. So we used Czechoslovakian wolf dogs instead. And Marcus, who plays Perrin,
wolf dogs, not even American dogs. Wolf dogs.
They're tiny.
Fuck off! No, you didn't. Like, this is not John Wick where you had freaking like Halle Berry training with these dogs to do these stunts. Like, you can't. No, stop it. No. It didn't happen. There's no hours and hours and hours. So the dog followed him around on a leash and developed a relationship with the fucking actor. That's it. There was no. Come on, the dog didn't do anything.
So I got my niece a puppy back in March. It was a Saint Bernard, and this puppy is now like 9 months old and weighs 100 pounds and looks bigger than these
Yeah.
Wolves.
It's like how about don't do that next time because there's a wolf dog in their name. How about you just get a bigger? You would have been better off with freaking German shepherds than those things you got.
Yeah, and like in the first book, they run into mastiffs guarding the Tuatha On, right? And
Yeah.
the mastiffs are relatively the same size as the wolves, and mastiffs are the largest domesticated dog.
I mean, Jesus Christ! Like, literally, they're whatever wolf dogs. It's like
You got Irish wolfhounds too
it's
that
like,
are
dude,
massive.
just find a big dog breed and whatever. Or maybe use some of that stupid CGI budget. Oh, never mind.
Or just
Gotta
stick
make it
Perrin in a
smart,
dog costume. We would have gotten the werewolf.
Wait. Hold on. Stop it.
Because we wanted that relationship to be real, so he would walk her around a lot all the time, and they spent time together on the weekends. And like Marcus's relationship with Calipinka is like one of the sweetest things.
Oh, Hopper's a female? No wonder she's so small.
Left at him, she remembered him, and you feel that on the screen. Like when she's looking.
No, you don't. Shut the fuck up. Like, I am so sorry. I am so fucking sorry. I felt nothing for Hopper at all.
Wait, did Hopper want to fuck Perrin?
They didn't even pick a male dog
Dude,
for Hopper?
Dude, like, do you hear all
Male
the
dogs are
talk?
usually like 20 to 40 pounds heavier than their female counterpart.
But
At least in larger dogs.
Guys, don't you see it on the screen? Because Perrin's actor kept a dog while he was on set, and it learned to like him because he fed him and he pet him, and it's nothing. No, it doesn't. It's just ridiculous.
Why couldn't they have just done wolves that looked like Ghost and Nymeria?
Just
the show, and to see them come to the books from the show, and create this world that like I grew up loving with my mom and with my family, and more people are now a part of it, is really like an amazing thing to feel. But I usually, I don't know, I was on Survivor years and years ago, so like you immediately get very used to the idea of like you just have to take everything on the internet with a grain of salt. So like positive, negative, wherever it is, you just like sort of appreciate that we're working on one of the few things that like
that's nice for your showrunner to say, that you take criticism with a grain of salt.
Everyone sees them, and this is
that's
one
fair,
that everybody's watching, and that's really exciting because then you're a part of something.
I also feel like he's trying to address this.
That's an amazing thing.
Did you have favorite storylines in this season beyond the or were they the ones that we just talked about? But like, I'm really curious about that too, because you're a fan in addition to being the person who runs the show. Like,
I disagree. He's not a fan.
Yes, we're doing it. Yeah.
I wonder if he was taking criticism with a grain of salt when he said he'll make anyone gay if they criticize him.
Go ahead. I'm going to play this. If there's something you want to say, go ahead. And if something big comes up, I'll pause it. But I'm tired of listening to this dude.
I read the books in this season, her storyline of being into money, it felt so different than anything I'd read before. So to be able to bring that to life was really, really special. And then I think the harder ones are the ones that I personally love from the books, but know that we're not going to get to do, and that actually causes me more emotional pain than the joy I get from the ones we do. Yeah, like
Wait, you have ones you missed from the books? Why don't you just cut your gay boyfriend from it and tell the books?
Why don't you haven't told anything from the books yet? So like
I don't know. Cash, like, give your gay boyfriend gray hair and make him Tom.
There you go.
And all of those people have different favorite storylines. Yeah. I guarantee you there are people sitting here who skipped random Perrin chapters to get to Egwene, and then chapters.
No, there's not one of those people that exists on fucking planet Earth. Not one. I'm sorry. Do we really? There's people that we think skipped Rand and Perrin chapters, so they skipped the whole book.
I skip Egwene chapters, but even then, I don't always.
But like he just said, there's people that skip Rand and Perrin chapters to get Nynaeve and Egwene. There aren't many of those till later.
So in the Sanderson books, I did do read-throughs where I would read all of Rand's stuff, and then I'd read all of Perrin's stuff, and then I'd read all of Matt's stuff. But I never did that with Egwene because I hated her guts.
Well, but it's not even what he's saying. Like, yeah, I get what you're saying, and I've skipped, but you're talking about skipping the two of the main characters. Do you know how much you lose from? Like, there's nobody that skips the. Like, there are characters chapters you can skip.
Apparently,
Perrin and Rand are not two of them.
Egwene has something like the fourth most POVs in all of the books.
maybe I don't know. That would
Yeah,
have
I think she's
most of them
fourth
are later.
after
But
Rand, Matt,
most,
and Perrin.
but that's after she starts getting the Saladar and all the stuff that happens there. Like they have to get to all the tower through all the tower BS before she starts taking any POVs. And there's like
I really want to know who he's polling. First, he polled that what
himself.
80%, 80% of book fans like the show.
There is
I would say
nobody out there that skips Rand chapters to get to those chapters. It is not a thing.
I definitely skipped the Dragon Mount scene with Rand so that I could reread the Egwene chapters when she becomes a Merlin seat. That was my
The only time I liked Egwene in that book was when she starts firing up the rapid questions at Shiriam and then leads the execution of like 200 sisters.
To be
I was
fair,
like, yes.
To be fair, Davesy dude, you can skip all of COT. So Rand's not in it. No. Okay.
My favorite Egwene chapter was when she turns to a crystal.
Oh
yeah, that was
also the Twilight has Perrin's big moment of choice and Rand unleashing the new weaves.
Skip those chapters. Like you really have to pay attention to those characters and give them the highlight in seasons that make the most sense for them to highlight. This season is a really big Rand season for us. Next season is a really big Rand Perrin season for us.
Sure it is. Fuck you.
Okay, I wanted to touch
so
on
we
that.
so we have
So he says
some
this
bullshit
here.
quote. How is it? Go ahead. Jesus.
He
what
says
an
here
asshole.
that next season is going to be focused on Rand and Perrin, but a little bit after this, I don't know if it's like immediately after or further down, he says that Mogideon is going to have a huge role in the next season. It's like you cannot have both of those at the same time.
You're right. How do you have a huge Mogideon? Well, first, why would you have a huge Mogideon season ever?
To make Nynaeve and Elaine the main focus of the season.
Exactly. Right. That's why I don't believe this for a fucking second. How about this? What if Rand doesn't go to the Waste? Rand goes back to the Two Rivers.
No. Apparently we have him in the Waste.
I don't think the leaked script.
So there is a leaked script.
Rand, yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't specifically say Rand, but it does reference him.
Okay.
I think it's because he says like how do we call him? He who comes with the dawn.
The Couladin script. You're right.
For a second, because yes. Ishamil returned for the season, and became this really magnetic, compelling, complex character.
No, he didn't.
Was introduced, and I think was like a huge hit for everybody. But right there at the end,
wow, 3 people whooped.
And I was wondering if you could talk about this a little bit, if you can.
Yeah, I think I can say some things about Mogideon, who Laia Costa, who plays Mogideon, had a really big challenge to do, which is that we just had an episode that is, a feature film in terms of VFX, armies and fire dragons and Cosmere Pike on a beach shredding.
It was not a feature film.
New character talking.
Rosamund Pike on a beach shredding.
That scene for us was to give the promise of season 3 and what the Forsaken will eventually mean in the show, because I think that you might this season start to think like, I love Shaman and Lanfear so much, there's no way I can love another Forsaken more. And Laia set out to prove that you actually can.
Why are we wanting to love any Forsaken? I don't understand.
I would love how evil they are.
Okay. Like, yes, you can like evil. Like, take Joffrey from Game of Thrones. He is universally despised, but also liked for how the actor portrayed him. That is a healthy like. But when he says love here, he is not meaning that kind of love. He's literally meaning it in the sense that romantic sense.
Yeah, here can I ask? Go ahead, ask. You can ask the Mog spoiler, of course. Forsaken, I'm telling you guys, Rafe is a pure liar, con artist. These people are disingenuous and fake. It's basically a way of life for them. They speak out both sides of their mouth. I agree, 100%, 100%. No, I know Roydion's confirmed in some. It's going to be the most bastardized version of Roydion ever.
I did have a theory about that I shared in the Discord. Rand isn't going to lift the mist over the city. If there is mist, it'll be Egwene.
Oh yeah.
And Egwene will be the one who shields Asmodean if he exists.
How much you want to bet it's not going to be Rand's visions of his bloodline? It's going to be from Moraine's perspective.
You sent it to me. When did you send the leaked script to me? I must have missed it. I see. Oh,
I think she's talking about the script.
The Aiel thing, the audition thing. Is that what we're talking about? No, just yeah, okay, yeah. I'll bring it up here at the end here, just because. Look, it's not the worst shit, but it's weird.
Fusing the Choden Call and Calendar, while it's not the greatest as a book fan, it is something that I could see you doing and getting away with in the show.
They don't know what a Choden Call is.
He knows what a chode is, but yeah.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know what a Choden Call is. He doesn't know. He doesn't care. Calendor is gone. He does not care about Calendor. He doesn't care about the Choden Call. He doesn't care. He doesn't know what they are. You could say, hey man, when's Rand and when are they gonna do the Choden Call thing? And he's gonna be like, what? Do the what? What? He doesn't know. Did they see the big statue outside of Carrion? Oh no, of course not, because they don't know what a Choden Call is. Why would they want that cool scene of seeing a giant statue with a freaking crystal globe being unearthed outside of a major city and Rand freaking having a moment with it? Why would we show that?
I've seen fan art of that. It's so good, and
it's so good,
so amazing to see that on screen. Oh, because I never got the perspective that it was humongous in the books, but when I saw that fan art, it was like,
okay. That would have been something that would have been so easy to set up, even within their butchered story. When Rand and her are on that ravine having sex under the stars, just have it off in the background and have workers and have them be like, what is that?
But since they haven't introduced the taint to the male half of the source, they don't need the Choden Call to cleanse it, which I think would have been one of the coolest scenes ever with him and Nynaeve cleansing it. Sorry if I'm ruining the book for some people. Sorry.
Okay. But the Choden Call was created not to cleanse the source. It was created to seal the Dark One.
Yeah, but look.
There is no Dark One.
There is no Dark One. That's the other thing. There's no Dark One. They sealed the Dark One, no problem.
And there was only like 8 people dealing with Shamael when they sealed him, so there wasn't even the 100 companions or anything.
Trying to say there was a tower there with a whole bunch of people in the tower. They didn't do a very good job of it, but there was supposed to be a tower situation that was supposed to be like 100 people.
I always envisioned it as them like battling up a slope, and it's like them pushing through a horde of Trollocs and everything. And you see members of the 116 getting cut down and dying, and they reach it, and in like the last moments, they seal it.
Yep. Yeah. Desperate. Not just, hey, Ishmael's on his knees, let's put him in the eye of the world. Okay.
The scene held no weight because there was nothing to it.
And again, there. I think it was Articus that said it. That Ishmael's the Dark One of the show. They're trying to retcon it. They're doing a terrible job, but because
I guess the reason
they wrote it for him to be the Dark One.
The reason I do envision the scene the way I do is based off of that histories that Jordan wrote, the assault at Shale Ghul or whatever.
Yeah.
I know it's not an official published piece, but it is online.
Oh yeah. Why would we take anything from these? Why would we take anything from the assault on Shale Ghul, right? Yeah.
Season 3, and this is just the beginning. So let's see here. So you did a presentation, a panel for Comic-Con, and my understanding is that you announced some stuff, and I was wondering if you could, for people who might have missed it, what happened, what went down.
Yeah, I think we announced that Io Waste and the City of Ruidian will be officially say it. I think today I'm allowed to say that there's another world that we have been working very hard to build, and that is the world of Tenchico.
Yes.
And it's tropical. It's so different than anything else you've ever seen on the show before, and genuinely
tropical. Like, didn't we just see tropical shit in Fall May?
Well, it's mostly desert with a few.
With the beaches, with white sand beaches and palm trees.
I don't know if I can say this, but we built. I will do it. We built this area where there's a bar and there's some of our characters like Nynaeve and Elaine that you love that are in there, and literally this place was just so wild and the costumes are so different. There's tropical plants hanging from the ceiling. Everyone looks like they could kill anyone.
I love how that's what he's focusing on, which furthers my suspicion it's going to be all Nynaeve and Elaine.
Wait, how?
Yeah, why are we focusing on Tanchico if it's a random parent story? Why don't you get rid of Tanchico? What are they in Tanchico for? They're not hunting anybody.
Because of Leandrin being outed as a dark friend.
Oh, so what?
So they're following
after Leandrin?
Yes, they're doing that from
Jesus
the books.
fucking Christ.
But
Oh,
there's a problem where that means they will have to run into I can't believe I forgot his name.
Julian Sandar and Tom Maryland,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
saved their bacon in that city. Those two
and
just
Matrim-
don't exist.
And a certain Matrim Cawthon.
Well, actually, no. Matrim Cawthon
later.
doesn't.
Well,
He
yeah,
saves them
that's
in
still later.
Abudar.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Well,
right.
without Tom, there's no reveal that Elaine isn't a Diamondred.
It does.
She's Tom's.
They don't care.
Wait, what? She's Tom's?
Wait, what?
Yeah, Tom is her actual father.
I didn't know that.
I never.
A cherry blonde can't be born to a man with black hair.
Did he say that?
Well, there's strong implications that he.
There was always implications. I never thought that was.
But also,
they were close, and he was like a stepfather when she was young. But I never.
Well,
I always saw him as more of like the uncle, like the side piece that was around all the time.
Well, the thing is, Jordan does pay attention to genetics, and neither Gawain or Elaine have black hair or very dark hair. So it's impossible for Elaine to be a redhead if her father had black hair.
It would also make sense why Morghese wanted Tom gone as the kids grew older and older.
Well, Morghese didn't want him gone. Red Aja chased him off after he found out about their dirty little secret.
I don't know. I never. I'd have to look into the timing of it because I don't think it quite matches up.
He was her lover by the time they were born.
It does match up. It does work within the timeline. And if it was hinted at, I can at least see the logic behind the theory.
He was at least her father figure, but I'm
pretty no, father figure 100%, but like actual
I'm pretty
blood,
sure,
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that he is the actual one.
You can make
that is something that you could pull a string on in the show and make a little clearer and have it be a little divergent from the books, and I'd be okay with it.
You would need Tom and Morghese as developed characters.
There's a lot of there's a bunch of stuff with Elaine and Tom that is important, and you're not going to get it without Tom, obviously.
Oh, so I just found an interview with RJ from 1996. A question was asked: is Tom Elaine and Gawain's real father? Robert Jordan: no, absolutely no, no question about it. No. Tom is exactly who he says he is. Footnote: RJ was apparently very disturbed by this question, possibly because it was implied he had ventured into incest territory in Fires of Heaven when Elaine decided to flirt with Tom.
So I always got that he was very important. Father basically was a step-in father for her, so she was very attached to him, and he was very attached to her as a father and daughter like relationship, but not that he was the actual biological father of the twins. So sounds like that's what he was getting at too. So
it could have been
James brings up a point here about Tom shacking up with Morghese and him potentially being the one that killed Tarangale.
I thought it was I thought this until Morghese's point of view, in which she category talks about Tarangale as the father of her children. She wasn't talking to anyone. It was part of the internal monologue. So look. I think there was some hinting at to make you think about it. Like I think that's there. I don't think you guys are.
It could have been something he changed later on as well. Like
look. I think it's there. I think it's meant to be a little confusing, and I think it's also meant to show you more than anything that Tom was there from birth, and that's why he's so attached to her.
Yeah.
Whether biological or not, he was her father. I think was the like what we're alluding to. So, but let's keep moving on this. Hopefully, we're almost done with this shit right now. All these fucking Muppets clapping about Tanchico.
We shot it just a couple weeks ago, which is we have built a Seafolk ship.
Yes.
That is an entire arc that could have been cut.
listen to
Yep.
it.
Why would
Yeah,
you
I was
build an
talking that
entire
before.
ship when you could just build a set?
Speaking of building sets, I talked about it with Sword of the Pen, and she kind of agreed with me that like you can build a set, but you have to do a thing where you plan out a route, right, for the set. And by planning out the route, then you can build certain false fronted buildings. And apparently, and she agreed with me, you can build like an entire false fronted building with like 2x4s and plywood for relatively cheap, because you don't have to do anything. It just needs to be a face.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you pay attention closely to the in Star Wars, the stupid bounty hunter show.
Book of Boba Fett?
Yeah, one of them. They're in the scene where they're doing a bunch of overtop shots showing the streets of a desert planet. You can see that they forgot to cover the roofs, and all those buildings are hollow. So yeah, it's standard practice to not actually build the buildings.
But apparently, Rafe has been building the entire structures.
Yeah, that's why it's costing.
Yeah, well,
so
here,
much.
so hold on. Trip sent me an image here of Edmonds Field here. I see your thing too, Mule. We'll put it up here after we get the video up. But here, let me see.
Still no Camelin though, or Tyr.
Okay, yeah. So we're still not going to Camelin. Yeah, again, we're definitely not going to Camelin. Like Tanchico, the Waste, Sea Folk. So there's the two rivers.
Yeah, those aren't false fronted. Those
they're
are
buildings.
full structures.
They're buildings. Yeah, that's why I brought it up. They're buildings. They built it. They built them all because they're idiots. You know, camera work is a little camera work, false front. You like that's why there are sound stages in like there's sound stages on studio lots, because you go through a door and then the actual room that you're like. It's like Seinfeld. Do you think they're going in those apartment buildings? No. There's like, come on, like, what the hell?
They're
is
all
wrong
in a
with
warehouse,
right? It's like,
but
you
that's why
crazy.
Sword in the Pen Amber said that when you're doing these types of scenes, you plan out the route that you're going to have the actors walk, and then you plan out the buildings along that walk.
Yeah, and yeah, I know, Alex, you're right. They're extremely proud of these. Yeah. Well, that's why they're made out of straw and not rocks. They're afraid the rock killer Moraine will come back to the Two Rivers. The scourge of the Two Rivers may come back and tear the rocks out of the foundations again. That's why they're all shitty, straw and shit. Yeah. Oh boy, let's get through this.
You took it off main screen.
Did I?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm sitting here listening to this getting stupider by the minute.
Yes, Chris, Moraine did destroy them, and then they realized they have to go back to the Two Rivers, and they have rebuilt the set.
Its own, I mean, I think it does, but like its own unique challenges. Like, do you have a preference even? Like, would you rather have the gang back together, or do you prefer when they're out kind of pursuing their own things, or like having their own?
I think what you need is a balance of both of the things. Really, one thing that we really wanted to go for this season was seeing each of the characters for at least a couple of episodes completely on their own, and all of our 7 leads got that this season. We really saw them on their own.
Where was the Rand episode?
Matt never got that.
Where was the Rand episode? Where was the Matt episode? Where was the Perrin episode?
Perrin barely got it.
No, barely. I would argue he didn't. Barely. Okay, I'll give you barely. Rand and Matt, where was the Matt episode? Was that him freaking out and doing the freaking little I hung myself thing and going through the acid trip?
Yep.
Was that the Matt episode? Where's the Rand episode? Is that him with Logain in the freaking the terrible freaking the 7 leads? Yeah, that I think that's a more damning freaking.
There should be 3 leads with 4 side characters.
Four
I considered the Wonder Girl side characters in this.
They
novel.
They are.
I can understand
there's
the
nothing
show
wrong
making
saying
them
that.
leads.
There's nothing wrong saying that because it's true. Like, they get more stuff to do later. Matt, Rand, and Perrin are the 3 lead characters, with Rand being obviously number 1. It's just the truth. Egwene, that doesn't make Egwene, Nynaeve, Aviendha, and Elaine any less important or whoever the frickin' who's the seven? Wait, who's the seven? Oh, Moraine. Jesus Christ, Moraine. Holy fuck.
Also, it's Moraine and Lan, not
It's
Elaine.
so the lead characters he's talking about Rand, laughable, Matt, laughable, Perrin, laughable, Nynaeve, Egwene, Elaine, and well, or maybe it's Lan and Moraine, or
I think it's Lan and Moraine.
It's
I
Lan
don't
and
think
Moraine.
Elaine is one of the seven.
She's a side character for now.
She's a side character always.
For TV, it's like the audience is getting a POV chapter where you feel like you're in the head of the
No, it
characters.
doesn't.
And
Not
there's
at
times where,
all.
like, it's an incredible novel series because you spend so much time in the head of the characters, but it's not like Game of Thrones where it translates perfectly easily to television. I mean,
Fuck off!
So for us,
Wait,
No.
what?
It actually could have.
It could have very easily. Why? Why? Would you, Rafe? Okay, can we get a real question? Could you elaborate on that? Why can't it? Oh, no answer because it's bullshit. That is the most bullshit thing oh, you can't, oh, well, the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones are better because, because they actually adapted it, and you can't adapt Wheel of Time like that. Why the fuck not?
Someone really needs to do a
Jesus
breakdown
Christ.
of the Wheel of Time of number of words in book compared to the number of words used for description versus thought versus actual action. Because it's not as much as people think.
So many people have done it. So many people have done it. Their treatments of it. And the more people do it, the easier it gets to just do it. You could do a book a season, no fucking problem. Will there be cuts somewhere? Sure. But you could do it no problem. Especially with the amount of time they got per episode this season. No problem.
I think even myself, as a terrible writer, I could adapt the books that we've been told that are being adapted more accurately. Would I have cut things?
You have to.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Would have I included some things? Like some people are like, you can't do play for your supper. But I would have included, I wouldn't have included every single stop. But I would have included a couple of them.
But that's where you mesh them together.
You could do a montage of just showing them, and as each time they enter a town, they're more tired, they're more exhausted, they're less trusting.
Or you just mash them to, like, you take a few stops and you put them all in one, and then you move on. Like we can talk about it all night.
They stop like 10 times along that journey, but the ones that stand out to me are Four Kings and Elsa Grinwell.
Yeah, those are the 2 important ones.
Rafael de Silveira. Sorry, Raphael. I'll just say Raphael. Land Mandragoran was. I'm sorry, I butchered your name. I'm terrible. I'm sorry. I apologize. Land Mandragoran was completely castrated in the series. The character only served to be sexualized all the time, and also berated. But yes, 100% correct. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Guess what? Because they took away his purpose being to fight the shadow and to die doing it, trying to get Malkiel back.
And also
they've taken away one of the coolest Nynaeve scenes in the entire series.
Oh yeah, and also to train young men how to be men and fight.
See, that's another scene. Like I would have adapted that scene pretty much faithfully. I would have done every single stop from that scene of her going to like the 4 different inns.
Oh, absolutely. You could do that quick though. Like that is you just have her walk in and then you have her go into that. Like we're not there yet. We're never going to see it because she's going to be raising the flag of Malkier by herself if we ever get there.
The audience really in their head invaluable because they
go ahead, Chris.
If they wanted to establish a more detailed Moraine character, they could have brought back her mischievous prankster side. Because in the beginning of book 1, there was an evil wind that messes up Rand. That could just be Moraine fucking with them.
There's all kinds of things they could have done, but
she could be the prankster, and her and Matt's relationship could be them
one of the things you prioritize is
pranking each other.
There's a lot of fantasy shows. What can our fantasy show do that's different? And I've noticed, and certainly I've responded to it. To me, that's like the most exciting thing about the Wheel of Time as a television show is that like you think this is such well-trod territory, and you wind up going down these directions that like you never would have anticipated. Things work very, very differently.
Yeah, because the directions don't make fucking sense.
Like the cast is like very even in terms of who's important, like men or women, but like that one where there's not a patriarchy, that's new, that's exciting.
We're just casually
But,
forgetting Tarvalon,
like,
which is behind
Not
everything.
one
in this
where
film.
there's not a patriarchy that's new and exciting. Like what? Every time they've turned around and spoken, they talk about the patriarchy, and then every single monarch or person in charge we've met has been female, with the exception of Ogilmar, who they destroyed. A kind gentleman.
You know what?
We even went as far as changing it from a king of Carahean to a queen.
You know what city we could have went to where there was a queen reigning and everyone
maybe
loved her?
the biggest one with the queen, Rose Queen of Andor, right? Maybe like the Lion Queen.
They're gonna get rid of the king of Tanchico, and they're only gonna have the Panarch.
Oh, absolutely.
And they aren't going to understand.
Why wouldn't they? They just did
They
it
aren't
in
going to
Carahean.
understand what the difference of the two were. The Panarch was in charge of Tanchico as a city. The king was in charge of Terabon as a nation.
How? I am so tired. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, why do we give a fuck? Yeah, that's in the story from the beginning. It's a matriarchy. I don't give a... Yeah, it is in the book too. And guess what?
But
we also find
really
out they're a bunch of
isn't.
fucking idiots.
There's two places that are truly a matriarchy, and that is Farmading and the Tower.
The most powerful nation in the world is Tarvalon, and then the second one is Andor, and then the third one is Shan-Chan, or you could probably put Shan-Chan in front of that, which is run by an empress. Look, I'm not saying there aren't nations ruled by men, but the most powerful ones and the most influential ones are run by women. So
I guess if you're going to bring up Andor, you are right. Men can't actually be in charge of that nation, but I do believe emperors can rise up in Shandar.
I'm not. But I'm not.
They can.
Okay, but it's an empress right now, which makes the world the most powerful places on the world are run by the females in the Waste. Yes, there are clan chiefs, but everybody listens to the wise ones. The Sea Folk are run by women. The Empress is the ruler of the Shan-Chan, the most powerful army in the world. Like, guys, it's a matriarchy.
No, I don't disagree. It's just, to me, when you say matriarchy, I look and see it as a society where only women can rise up and be in charge.
Well, there's both, which is fine.
Yeah, which is why I only think of Andor, Tarvalon, and Farmading as truly matriarchies.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna call it one, if I was forced to call it one or the other, I would call it a matriarchy. It's both because there can be both, which is fine, which is how it should be.
This is why I don't understand how they can get off on saying that the books are outdated when like you said, all the big nations are ruled by women. Like I don't understand what do they see that's outdated in Sanderson's. I mean,
even the ones that aren't on the top run by women, like Edmund's Field, who have a men's circle who's supposed to be running the place, but there's actually the women's circle that runs the fucking place and everybody answers to. Like there's it's like the clan chiefs, they run things, but the wise ones are actually the power of the Aiel. Like.
Well, the power is still split. Wise ones do not get a say when the spears are drawn. But if you're looking even at like equality,
do anything without the say of the
all we
clan
have to
chiefs
do
will
is
not act without a wise one's fucking permission. They just won't do it.
Is look at the Borderlands. It is 2 queens and 2 kings.
Yes, some of the best fighting nations in the world are run by women. One, a very young woman. How about that? So I hate this whole, like, who cares? Like, stop bringing it up. You're not doing anything special. That's in the material, but you fucked it up. You fucked it up.
Yeah.
that's the audience we have. We're clapping
Anyways.
to patriarchy.
Yeah, sorry about my thing on the patriarchy stuff. Maybe my
fine.
tism gets in the way. I'm kind
No,
of
no,
literal
no,
with
you're fine.
words.
No. Don't no reason. You didn't say anything. You're fine, dude. You didn't say anything bad. You're good. You're good, man. Absolutely nothing to apologize for. Good.
Like, looking forward, do you see this as like a challenge? Like, are you constantly gonna have to be like, how are we gonna top what we did last season? Like, how are we gonna?
All you got to do is open the Shadow Rising, ignore everything that you've done, and just take the lines, of dialogue, and put them in the show, and it's better instantly. Even if it's just them reading the book and like having like, stick figures acted out, it's better. 100%.
But yeah, Forsaken is right. It's like real life. Men run the household, but at the end of the day, they still listen to their wives.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Yeah. I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Adapting this book series, I'm just like, oh my god, yeah, this is good, but wait till what happens in season 3. Like, there are actually things that happen in the books all the way through that are so different, and no one's doing them, and we're really leaning into those, and it's very cool because, like, it's funny, I click on my own Amazon Prime to watch.
Wait, who else is gonna do them? You have, like, what is he talking about?
I don't follow.
What the
I kind of tune them out. Sorry.
Hold on? Listen to this gobbledygook. I can't believe I'm going backwards.
And we're really leaning into those.
Like, listen to this sentence freaking soup of nothing.
Do you see this as like a challenge? Like, are you constantly gonna have to be like, how are we gonna top what we did last season?
He says nothing.
That's the great thing about adapting this book series is I'm just like, oh my god, yeah, this is good, but wait till what happens in season 3. Like, there are actually things that happen in the books all the way through that are so different, and no one's doing them, and we're really leaning into those, and it's very cool because, like, it was funny, I clicked on my own Amazon Prime to watch Wheel of Time because everyone should watch it on their Amazon Prime as many times as they want. And
it's bingeable now. You can watch the whole thing from start to
Go back to season 1, watch them all, just gone. Take it in.
Yeah, there it is. You were right. He tells people to go rewatch.
Wheel of Time had strange, ambitious, and epic. And I was like, you know what, that is great. Those are words I would choose for the show because I do think it's strange, and that's one of its huge things that it's got going for it. Is you don't expect.
But it's not strange.
All in these kind of trodden pathways that we're used to and getting used to in fantasy.
It's strange how bad it is and how they've decided. The reason they say strange is strange how you take this wealth of content and just take a giant dookie on it and call it Wheel of Time.
Because I don't get
it. Neil's right. He's right. No one is adapting Wheel of Time. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say it's strange because it's disjointed. So the story itself. So I think people who've never read the books that don't have any understanding, like to fill in the blanks, it is strange. If you kind of imagine watching this, I would totally lost interest because you can't follow it. It's
okay. I don't disagree with what you're saying, but to me, I think he's saying strange in the sense that people that don't understand fantasy say strange. They're the types of people that go, it's magic. You can do whatever you want with it. Rules don't matter. These are the types of people
that space wizards with laser swords.
Concept.
Yeah,
and their arguments are usually super, for lack of a better word, kind of retarded.
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying is if you watch some of the people who've never read the books that are doing reviews of this as well, they talk about that certain things are strange because they're coming from a place where they don't have any understanding of the world built by Robert Jordan, so they can't fill in the blanks.
They don't set up any of the rules. They change the rules
exactly.
You set up. Like I was, no matter what happened, I was going to hate this series. I hate everything. I thought it would be adapted badly, but probably be an okay show. It is like to have completely incompetent writers who are doing their own thing in addition to being a terrible adaptation is so below what I anticipated.
I've asked this question to so many people following the finale. How did Ishamael die and why did he die and Lanford didn't? And the only response I got was because that's what happened in book 3.
Right. It's like I'm still waiting for my answer as to why it's dirty when men channel. Why is it dirty when men channel? There's no counterstroke. Ishmael didn't do anything when he was bound at the eye of the world. Why is the one power, because there is no Sidene and Sidar, why is the one power dirty when men channel? There's no reason.
You are wrong. I do want that question answered. And no, I am one of the people that firmly believes the shorts of the first season are not canon for the show.
They're not.
I agree with that.
Agree.
But they are better than the show.
One of the things I did see in Disparu's review today is how even within the episode, when they established the rules around the collar, they still broke the rules within that episode.
They break them all over the place. Yes.
It's
100%.
And that's the pillar of all fantasy is you need to create rules and you need to stick to the rules.
Well, and then on top of that, the rules they make, they break, and then on top of that, then they start adding rules for stuff they don't need to be adding rules for, and then they break those rules. It's like, why are you making things more complicated and then breaking the rules that you set? Stop. Just stop making it more harder on yourself. You don't need to explain how channeling works. Just show people correct channeling. You don't have to say that it's pulling elements out of the walls of the No. Because now, where are you getting spirit from? You're pulling it from the soul of somebody? Like, where are you getting spirit? Like, you can't explain it. Where, like, if there's no water around, oh, we get it out of the air. Well, stop. Just don't do it. There's no reason to. You're overcomplicating something that doesn't need to be overcomplicated.
So if you were to draw all the water out of the air, I'm pretty sure that it creates problems for the environment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's one thing. Stop creating problems. Why did you spend 15 minutes drinking shit water to explain how channeling works just to always contradict how channeling works? You made the rules and you continually break them, and it brings up a whole bunch of questions on how these people are channeling things. I refuse to believe that there was enough heat in that sand to make that giant fire dragon just after making a cruise missile that took out all the Shan-Chan chips.
That wasn't a fire dragon. That was an illusion. That's what Moraine is strong in.
Bullshit.
The other thing is women are strong with water, and she had an entire ocean in front of her.
What? But fire is dramatic. We need a fire dragon. It's like bullshit. Like, oh god.
Like in book 1, she channeled a wall of fire to kind of slow down the Trollocs, and then she did some earth weaving, and she was knocked on her ass for like 5 chapters.
Well, it's like but I'm just, my whole thing is just don't.
Well,
just
that's
don't explain how they're doing
it.
Just
done.
don't.
They don't show
channeling.
fatigue.
It's just.
No, there was fatigue after she got healed. That was the only time.
I'm just saying. There's no reason to make rules when you don't need to, because then now you have. Once you make rules, you have to follow those rules. So the minute you make a bunch of rules that don't need to be there and never were there, now you've set out rules, and now every time somebody channels something, we think about, well, where did they get that?
Well, I think I know what his response would be. The books like to lean into this unreliable narrator type thing, where people and the characters in the series didn't actually know everything, and so what we're trying to do here is lean further into that, and create that mystery of not understanding the whole world as a whole. That's why we have these rules, and the Aes Sedai think they're true, but they're actually wrong because they just don't know the full story.
You are giving them so much credit. There's no way they're thinking that at all. What I want to know is who Egwene is killing each time she makes that shield she makes, because isn't that shield woven with spirit?
There's no weave to it. She just pulls it out of her butt every time.
Yeah, so it's just a magic shield that doesn't take any weaving to record. Yeah, okay. So only Egwene can do the shield of no weaving. Yeah.
And these are like, you've seen worlds every season, and we have an amazing budget for next time that we try to use for maximum. So that is. I think that's part of the fun of the series, is that, like, I know that there are all of these stories that are strange and ambitious and epic that we still have to do.
None of them are strange.
I feel like you gave everybody a lot of stuff to look forward to in the strange, ambitious, and epic categories. So thanks so much for coming.
So full of crap.
I just hate that word. Really, I do.
Strange. Yeah, I don't think it. I don't think it applies. The fact that he thinks it's strange, and the thing, like, He's telling emotional bullshit. It's like, look, there's emotional stuff in there, but you're not working. You're not working towards it. You're not working towards the emotion of certain scenes. You're just like,
there's so many words I hate now from him speaking. I hate emotion, I hate feelings, and
this is not my best work, but I feel like I captured the moment.
I really wanted to capture the first meeting of Rand and Elaine in a very special way. It's just like the Little Mermaid.
You used the wrong Little Mermaid. He was referencing the new one.
It doesn't matter. I like how Rand is Ariel. And Quinn is Eric. Oh boy! Like I don't know. How can you get how they're just how do you get it so fucking wrong all the time? All the time. I just, and I know some people, before we wrap up here, I know some people wanted to see this real quick, so I'll bring it up here. But there's not really that much to this. I mean,
so based off of my whole little spiel about how everything is unreliable narrator, and that's what they wanted to go into, as you read into the script, Couladin's, I think his second line is playing into that.
So I'll just read it real quick. So this is a leaked portion of the script. So we have Couladin and an unspecified Aiel. So Couladin, you would have us declare our allegiance to a wetlander. Aiel, it is a prophecy foretold. Couladin interrupts. A prophecy 3,000 years old, translated from a dead language, passed down generations from mouth to mouth, twisted, misinterpreted to fit around this impostor. Only you were fool enough to believe him. But I know the truth. I have entered Rodion. I have seen our people's past and our future. Aiel, you've disobeyed the wise ones by entering Rodion without permission. Couladin, yes, without. Why not? He who comes with the dawn brings change, doesn't he? You call yourself he who comes with the dawn. Then the funny thing is the article people, like the website, they put this in here. That's not what the actual script says. So just saying. You call yourself he who comes with the dawn. Then tell me, what did you see in there? I will speak of it to no one, not even you. But what I saw was holy. I am holy. I know the glory of the people's past, the glory that will bring us back to us. I am Couladin of the Damani Sept of the Shadow Aiel. I am he who comes with the dawn. Now kneel before me, or bow before me.
Before we go on and read the similarity of the book, I wanted to.
I wasn't even going to go into that. I just wanted to bring up the. Where is it?
Something about it feels off.
So scrolling back up there, what feels off to me is the second line. It feels like they're trying to insert basically Bible propaganda, how it's false, that sort of thing. But also the idea that prophecies are inaccurate is just something that this show keeps on doing, and it bothers me because the prophecies are not supposed to be inaccurate. They're supposed to be
exacting.
Yeah,
that's one of the ways you feel narrative progress as you work through the story. They should have had as many prophecies laid down, especially for a book series that's done, as you can. We should already know about Tear and the Stone. A really good way to get that stuff out would have been to have Tom Maryland with them, but even Loyal could tell them stuff.
Yep, that's true.
Now, what if the opening was someone reading the entire prophecy, basically telling you everything that was going to happen in the show before it happened? And then you could figure it out as the show went on.
Could you have done the prophecies as like the opening scene, not scene, but the like thing that shows do for like their little banner thing or whatever? Game of Thrones did that. Here's where we're visiting this episode, but instead have them like read off portions of the prophecy.
I was actually thinking about that yesterday while I was reading parts of Great Hunt, and I 100% would have gotten. Not maybe every episode, but several episodes get Michael Kramer and Kate Redding to do that specifically.
But even the cold open when they show Shael giving birth to Rand, To me,
Oh yeah, have
that
the
was
over
that opening scene, right, where they're showing her and Tam and all of that to kind of explain that was where Rand, or who, Rand came from. I think that would have been a much more, a better way maybe to convey some of the prophecies behind it. But even we never heard, they never referenced that again. And I noticed.
They tried to fix it by having Varen go, I'm going to go read some prophecies in the White Tower. And then she warps to the White Tower, and then she warps to Karahian, and then she just starts teleporting everywhere.
Well, she says the prophecy will have Rand battle in the sky. Yeah. And then immediately the prophecy is wrong. So in Couladin's statement, he is actually vindicated.
Well, from the show, the show screwed it up.
The prophecy said he will fight in the sky, and the prophecy was wrong.
Yeah,
so Couladin is actually the Kara Khan.
Yeah, he's actually right. Yeah,
the prophecy is only wrong if Rand is the dragon, and we don't really have any evidence of that in the show yet.
That's true too. Whisker Fisherman for $2. Good night. I'll keep up the good fight. Thanks, buddy, for hanging out. So I know. So first of all, there were a few questions. Do we think season 4 is going to happen? At this point, probably not. I know at some point, when we were talking about before, I thought season 4 we'd get to season 4 just because of some comments Rave said, but I guess there's some stuff out there that he's done after season 3, and
he jumped the boat after
studios tend to sign these things for 3 seasons and then go from there. So Amazon cannot be happy with how the viewership is for this show. They put $100 million in. There's no way they're happy with it, or the word of mouth. So and you're right, not many people know what the hell this even is. Instead of becoming everybody forgets, nobody knew what the fuck Game of Thrones or Song of Ice and Fire was before Game of Thrones came out on HBO. I shouldn't say nobody, but
I didn't even start watching that until I think it was season 3 or 4.
Right. So nobody, the novels were not everybody we have this revisionist thing that Game of Thrones and Song of Ice and Fire was always this hugely popular. No, it wasn't. It was a niche series that was good, that people were that was growing steam. It was growing in popularity. What's that?
People recommended it. It was talked about.
Well, after the show, what I'm saying is there's nobody following this show, whereas the show was good, so people not only recommended the show, but they also made the books even more popular with that. There is no buzz about this. There's no resurgence of people are picking up the books and going, wow, this doesn't match the show at all, and they're enjoying the books because of that. But the show is not overly popular because people are passing. I can go to my place of work filled with 25 people during the day and go, hey, have you heard of a show called Wheel of Time? They'd all look at me like I'm crazy, and they go, well, what about Game of Thrones? I'm like, oh, fuck Game of Thrones, blah, 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 right? Because that's what it did. So, and him making, oh, you can't do it like Game of Thrones. Yes, you can. How about you try? Why don't you try and do it like Game of Thrones did it? Because, they were obviously successful adapting A Song of Ice and Fire because, well, they stayed true to a lot of the story elements in the books. Why don't you give it a shot, buddy? That's what they hired you to do.
I don't know. I even remember, though, when Game of Thrones came out, that our duty master corporal or whip for the day would sometimes ask us during morning roll call if we had seen the latest episode.
It was literally, if you didn't watch it, you were out of the fucking loop. And that's still kept up all the way to season 8 with the galactic freaking just traumatization.
People were talking about how bad it was.
Yes, everybody knew how bad it was because everybody was just watching, going, "Are they going to turn it?" Everybody watched it. The Red Wedding was a big part of that.
That is what it was. I think I started watching after the Red Wedding happened.
Well, it's one of those things. I think the Red Wedding, I don't know what it was, because the show was good. Season 1 was. I know the beheading, the fact that they actually beheaded Sean Bean and Eddard Stark. I know that did a lot for the show too, but the Red Wedding was also huge.
That's because they set up the pay, they did the setup and then they did the payoff. they set up that Robb Stark was to be wedded to one of what's his name?
Oh, what setup and
Frel's.
payoff? Oh my god! What are you
Well,
talking about?
if you get 10 episodes a season, you can fit in your setups and your payoffs. But
Well,
with
look.
8, you can only do one or the other.
Hey,
Dude, I actually, honestly, I don't know. I'd have to look at it because I'm telling there was 9 hours of television they had in 8 episodes. They were pretty close to the runtime of Game of Thrones season 1. Probably pretty close. Probably a lot closer than we thought.
The episodes of Game of Thrones were about 45 minutes, not including credits.
So that would mean Wheel of Time has more time. Because every episode this season of Wheel of Time was over an hour. So, Kat, thanks for being here. Gotta grab some sleep before I drive home early tomorrow morning. Thanks for the great discussion for $5. Thank you, Kat, for joining in and being here. You're welcome anytime. Thank you so much for hopping in and enjoying the discussion. Appreciate it greatly. Before we took, so they do go over. It is a little off because here's basically the lines they're mushing together, right? You say you went to Roydion without permission from the Wise Ones. I don't know why it says Han Domindred frowning. I don't know what the fuck that is. What did they Han Dom? What I don't know what the hell that is. Coonan had his answer though. Yes, without it, he who comes with the dawn brings change. So that's the line from the book. And then you have Roydion. Rand said, the words seem to fill the canon. You claim you went to Roydion, Coonan. What did you see? All I know is Roydion. See, that's the difference. It's a confrontation from Rand.
Yeah,
calling
that's
him
the other
out for
thing,
breaking
that's
the
other
rules.
thing I disliked about the above scene is the fact that they it's another removal of Rand's agency.
Yes, this is Rand confronting him and calling him out for breaking. Yeah. So real quick, King Takim, effort. It's all these adaptations need. Just take the effort to turn. Just take the effort to turn what's on the page to something on the screen. That is 100% right. 100%. I don't all this. Oh, you can't. Nope. You didn't even try. You did not even try. Have a great night.
I just want to give a shout out to a great adaptation called Twilight.
Tweely? I don't know about Tweely. I can watch Tweely.
I read the book and I watched it. It actually adapts the books fairly faithfully. So,
yeah, it's one of those. I know my sister was big into it. So, but yeah. So, and then I want to. This was the part that made me. The script above used code words of the in-world names and locations. We did our best to replace them with the ones we thought the Wheel of Time references. For example, we used "He who comes with the dawn" could be referenced to Karakarn instead.
Well, since they already called him Karakarn,
they're not going to say. They're going to say
they aren't going to call him "He who comes with the dawn."
No, they're going to call him Karakarn, which means there's still hope for my Karakarn jumping off a building explosion scene. Karakarn, we're gonna get it. I gotta see it. Sue, thank you for being here.
Suicidal Aiels.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna get it. They're gonna learn how to weaponize firecrackers and jump off buildings, become like suicide bombers. It's gonna happen. Just you wait.
The question: do they actually save money, or do they get benefits for shooting in South Africa?
I have no idea.
They just need to be careful with all the. I don't know if the upheaval's still happening down there. But...
Oh, is it? Did anybody get I haven't seen anything about viewership numbers. Did they release them or did they?
First 3 episodes was they collectively shared 515 million. Episode 4, if we just go by everyone only watched the episode that was aired, also had 515, so it technically went up per episode. But then the 5th episode came out and it was down to 423 million.
Oof.
Which was a drop of 28%.
Oof.
The question is, what will it drop by this Friday?
We'll have the numbers out tomorrow. Tomorrow in the evening around 5 or 6.
Oof. That is ouch. I mean, those aren't even big numbers to begin with, 500.
Yeah, and the question is, they only published the top 10, and it's already down to the 6th spot.
Oof.
But
I think it'll stay pretty close to 420. Like episode 5 was the
there's
first one to
nothing
come
else.
out.
There's nothing else.
One episode in the week that it came out. I think it'll stay close.
I think that's absolutely
for the finale.
100%. I think that's absolutely 100% correct, you know. And I'm sorry for jumping in. There's nothing else on TV right now.
The only things that aired at the same time as Wheel of Time season 2 were One Piece and Ahsoka.
Yep. And Ahsoka's smashing it, isn't it?
Ahsoka is 2 ranks above it as of last
Yeah.
week, and One Piece is still holding the number 3 position.
Yeah.
And you couldn't possibly watch 3 different TV shows all in the
Yeah,
same week.
right, exactly. Especially if it was good,
Well,
right?
I watched all of One Piece.
Well, no. He's saying
Oh.
he's saying you couldn't watch One Piece, then watch Ahsoka, then watch Wheel of Time if they were actually good. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Because but like, and I'm trying to think in the last there was nothing. It was just Ahsoka and Wheel of Time.
Stablebull brings up a good point. It's shocking actually that Ahsoka is beating out Wheel of Time because Ahsoka
They're half-hour
has
episodes.
40 minutes or less episodes.
They're like half-hour episodes. They're
Yeah,
short.
but Ahsoka
We have twice
episodes,
as much material in half the viewers.
Ahsoka episodes certainly feel longer.
Well, that's true, but we're talking, you know, is it because people like pass out from boredom and then like it just repeats automatically? I don't know. Wait, Rafe bragged about being in 3 continents in one day, wasting that budget. Roast this fucking show to oblivion. Yeah, it's like why are we? It's like, oh, it's beautiful over there. We were in a bar with all the cast and we were all drinking Mai Tais and fucking swimming naked.
I don't
in
get
the
that.
beach.
Why?
Like, I don't care. Tape my show, asshole.
That is something that should be planned out ahead of time, and you should be focusing on each location one at a time. You wouldn't be shooting in order, but you
I
would
need
just
to bring
shoot.
this up again. This looks like shit. Like, hold on. I just started staring at it. This looks terrible. Like, I had to do a double take. This looks like fucking garbage. Actually, let me bring it up this way instead of.
Wait, did they rebuild the entire town?
They rebuilt the entire town and it looks like shit. It looks terrible.
Wait, do
Look
they
at
have
this.
tiles roofs? I think they have tile roofs already.
It looks horrible.
It still needs to be hay until after Perrin gets done making it into a kingdom.
I mean, they literally like. So they said, oh,
They've added a
after,
wall and they added a tower.
It's like, yeah. Why is there?
But the trees are on top of the village. That tree line is too close.
It's like they didn't even rebuild the main, like the Wine Spring Inn, or like this looks like
The Wine Spring Inn is right behind us. That is looking out from the Wine Spring Inn.
You know what? Is that what this looks like? A freaking this one right here. I don't know if you can see my cursor. Hold on. This one right here looks like an aircraft garage where you park your fucking aircraft, and they just put a little fucking door on it.
There is actually barns that do look like that, at least in Europe. So
Are there? Okay, but I'm just saying it doesn't.
It almost looks like they were going for like a Northern European look with the Great Halls type thing. You know, like.
I don't think it looks good at all, man. I think it looks like shit.
Does this look at all like what the village looked like the first time they built it?
That's what I don't know. I can't tell.
They would
I don't think so.
If this town burned down and they rebuilt the town, then they would build it the same way, just with some defenses.
But that's
I just hate how close the trees are, and unless they get rid of those trees and clear them out, that'll be something I'll harp on in season 3.
And it's a big plot point in the books.
Wait, they released They released images of the Snakes and Foxes game? Where is that?
They did? I thought that the Snakes and Foxes were actually cut.
They're just gonna do the game.
Oh, wait.
It's just an homage to the Snakes and Foxes.
It's just gonna be an Easter
I don't know
egg.
if it was like fans fiction or whatever, but I did see somewhere and read that somebody had been like, there's apparently a scene of
Like,
Moraine
dude,
and
like,
Lanfear
fuck you.
fighting
Like,
next
do you
season.
know how cool it would be if you just make up rules to a game called Snakes and Foxes and release that shit?
Well, the whole point of the game is it's unwinnable unless you cheat.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, like, not as a game. You do it as
Are you
a
saying
decorative
Oliver
piece.
cheated? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is as a decorative piece, like, you just, like, call it the game of Snakes and Foxes. You have some nice, intricate made pieces, and you sell that shit.
Yeah, they're
Like,
not interested in merchandising at all, and they weren't going into season 1.
It's
I
crazy.
imagine, like, you don't design Aes Sedai rings like that for your show if you care about merchandising.
Dave, the reason they can't cut down the trees is because that is unenvironmentally, like, it's non-environmental or whatever, you know. And we're very pro-environmental over here at Wheel of Time and
You don't have
Amazon,
to cut
and
them
we
down. You
believe
just,
in keeping the trees alive.
just build the
Depending on
buildings
what-
a little bit farther away.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So King Takeem, I wasn't a huge fan of the effects, but like it was more definitely for me the plot holes, the use of some of the effects. Like, you know, even if you thought the fire dragon looked cool, why is there a fire dragon? It makes no
Why
goddamn
isn't
sense.
it a banner? And why do people keep calling it a banner? It
It's
doesn't
not a
make
banner.
sense
It's a
because
fire
that is not what the
dragon.
word means.
It's like it's not even bannered in the sky. It's on a tap. She put the even if it's not a real fire dragon, it's just illusion. It's not bannered in the sky. It's sitting on top of a tower.
And
So
who's
it's
it supposed to be proclaiming? There's 5 people on the tower.
Exactly. And you're like sitting there squinting, going, I can't see that guy. He's way up top there. What is happening?
Yay! He's
Matt will
alive.
have his hat before the season starts, man.
Oh yeah, they mentioned that the actor Donald Flynn said that he's getting a new costume or whatever.
Yeah, he was excited for his new costume. So he'll start the season in his iconic looking. He'll have the scarf and everything, and has King Takeem put his stick with a steak knife tied to it. Yay! I'm so
They
excited.
could still do the book accurate stuff for how he gets his hat and have him
I doubt it.
do the thing with Hadnan Kadir, right?
It'll be
But
a gift from one of the girls.
the issue
parting ways or something.
is we don't have an establishing line for how they get to the waist.
You don't think he'll steal that hat from someone?
He's either going to steal it or it's going to be a gift from one of the girls as they part ways.
And they'll have stolen it from someone.
They just took it off a dead body lying in the street.
My
hey, man,
issue
this is good for you.
is like they haven't, and they keep doing time skips. They haven't established why they would ever go to the Aiel Waste. And if they do a time skip like they did now, season 1 is going to open with Rand in the Waste.
Yep.
And it's going to be like, how did he get here? Why did he get here?
Oh, I think that's absolutely what they're doing. I think they're absolutely going to they're just going to be either just inside the waste and having this conversation with Avienda, talking about,
and Paranol have just gone home, and like none of it will add up or make sense.
No, they will split. They won't have a goodbye. There's no reason, Matt. It's just going to make no sense. It's going to just be, they're going to be split up again, and that's it.
Now, I know some people may not like this suggestion, but since Sanderson is executive producer, it would be cool to have Matt find a hat and then him give the person an innocuous item in return for the hat, sort of a nod to his character from the Alloy books. But
hey,
yeah,
I've actually been saying that. Matt needs to get a Spren next season.
Why not?
Because
Let's fucking do it.
He has a shard blade that can cut through metal.
Yeah, he does. It melts metal.
They already can't adapt one book series. You want them to be responsible for 2?
Dude, what if they give him just an Indiana Jones like freaking fedora?
Oh, they probably will. But somebody was saying they might give him a derby.
Yeah, that was King Takeem, I think it was. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. A derby and an ascot, yeah. Oh, Matrim Stormblessed. Hell yeah, do it. Do it. Do it. And he's all of a sudden he's a freaking he's a coin shot. He just starts throwing coins at people. It's like oh my god. All right. Well, I don't know, I hope they. I don't know, man. I am so.
I
am
hope they
so
don't.
afraid.
I
am
want.
so afraid of. And I am so afraid of Sanderson's stuff being adapted in any form right now.
I've been
don't
thinking
think
about how you would
Sanderson's
adapt that.
putting himself in a position where he doesn't have control of it.
5 years. I hope 5 years. Maybe we get a Stormlight. Maybe it might be safe.
How you adapt it is that you skip all the Kaladin and Dalinar chapters and you only adapt the Yasna and Shallan chapters.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Kidding me? If anything, you cut Shallan and Jasna.
He's just using Wheel of Time as a blueprint. Okay. Like I know I skip all of Kaladin's and all of Dalinar's and all of Adolin's stuff.
I did a read where I
didn't
didn't read a single Shallan chapter.
I'm being smart.
I didn't feel like I missed anything.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been I need to go back to Stormlight. I haven't read it.
But he doesn't. I mean, he doesn't need the adaptation money. Like he's super big and established. I'm not saying it'll be good. I'm saying if it happens, it'll be something he's happy with.
I still hope that. I still hope, and I know there's some people have fear in that. I still hope he just crowdfunds it and make that just do the whole thing. You want to be a part of making Stormlight great? Fucking here, help me build a studio.
Have you read Book 5's prologue?
Yeah, I think
I have not.
Who's the prologue?
It's Gavilar's point of view from Book 1.
I did. Yeah, I did. That came out a long time ago, right? A while ago. Yeah, I did. I want to reread it, but it's crazy. Rhythm of War I felt was the weakest one, so I'm hoping the next one, especially since it's supposed to be Zeth's point of view. So
we're supposed to be going into a new era after this one.
Yeah. This is supposed to be the last of this era, which also scares me because. I mean, I'm in the middle of reading Sunlit Man, which is the fourth of the surprise novels.
Yeah,
it's actually been pretty good.
Stuck. I'm at like 20% of the way through the book, and it's not really grabbing my interest.
What, Sunlit Man?
Yeah.
I'm okay just because I'm actually know who the character is. It's not a new character. It's a character that I know. So
I feel like it's supposed to be a character from Warbreaker, but
no. It's Stormlight through and through, brother.
Is it?
Oh, 100%. I already know who Nomad is. 100% right from the get.
Then who?
Spoilers for Sunlit Man.
Hold on a second.
Anybody?
Put your hand up until you're done.
Spoilers for Sunlit Man. I'll let you know. Okay, here we go. So spoilers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's 100% Sigil.
Yeah, it could be.
No, it's 100%. There's no could be. There's a scene with Hoyd. It's 100% Sigil. 100%.
It's just I don't like the weapon and the way the weapon's portrayed.
Well, there's I don't know why it's that way yet, but it's 100% Sigil in Ox. It's 100%, no doubt.
Yeah.
So, all right, putting my hands down. Boop. All right.
I just bought the book today, so.
Anyways, the reveal was.
So I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it so far. I think it's the best out of the 4 novels. So I to be fair, I didn't read the.
Why'd you buy it? You could have asked me. If you want the book, just ask me. I'll send you an email.
Yeah, I could have sent it to you, man.
It's free, man.
Dude, I'm excited. Alex is printing me up a freaking giant ass shard bearer from the
Yeah, I gave it to all my siblings and family. I bought the thing for the ebooks and I just send them the email every time I get it sent.
So King Takeem, this is going to be this, and I should do a video on it. I want to
start at Elantris, and then you read Mistborn Era 1.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know that I agree with that. So Elantris is his worst book.
I love Elantris,
and probably the most complicated.
Yeah,
I
the problem with
I would
Elantris is that climax takes forever to build to the high point.
Yeah, I would personally start out with Mistborn Era 1, like Staple Blue said. Elantris is one of those you can sort of fit in anywhere.
Yep.
To me.
I think, okay, if you're going to do it, yeah, do Mistborn Era 1. You can do Era 2
Era
after
2 can
you
wait a
do
little bit.
you
Stormlight.
you have to do it after you do a bit of Stormlight.
Yep.
But before you read book 4 Stormlight, you also have to read Warbreaker.
Warbreaker,
And then you
Elantris,
can throw in the other smaller ones like Elantris, the Emperor, the Shadow, or whatever.
I think the best way that I've thought is you start with Mistborn Era 1, then you could sort of Way of Kings is good there, probably, and then Words of Radiance. Then you can sort of fit in Warbreaker and Elantris there before you continue. White Sand you can sort of fit in anywhere. I still need to finish White Sand.
Yeah,
actually.
I was looking to order the omnibus, but it's not available until November.
So I don't know about Malazan's Stable Bow. So what? It's a look. And honestly, dude, I read it out of order. If you started somewhere else, it's no big deal.
I read it as Mistborn, and I read the first era, second era, and then I read Elantris, Emperor's Soul, and the other short ones, Warbreaker, the Shadow, something Dusk of the Shadow, maybe.
Yeah, that's one of the short story things.
And then there's a couple more that I'm blanking on their titles. And
well,
then
you have Dawn Shard and all the small novellas, and
I read
Ars
those ones
Arcanum.
after I read Stormlight. But Stormlight was my last big one that I started.
Yeah, well, those are little Stormlight novellas, but Ars Arcanum has a bunch of short stories in them. But
I still say Warbreaker has one of the funniest scenes Brandon's ever written. The pillow and the bed scene.
Like that's actually how I started Elantris first, then Mistborn, but it was only because I was reading by publishing date and not sort of like story order.
Yeah, I think I also did a bit of publishing date as well on some things.
Because Elantris, I don't like.
He wrote it when he was 17. He was still in high school when he wrote it.
Yeah. No, it's definitely like, and that's why I sort of, especially with some of the newer novels coming out and him including Elantarians and their magic system and some of this stuff. We need another Elantris book to explain how Door and all that works better. Yeah.
Isn't Elantris sharing the same world as Emperor's Soul and the graphic novel?
Not the graphic novel. So, White Sand is on Taldane. Emperor's Soul is on Cell. Just it's a forgery and not Aeon Door.
So
there's two. It's the other magic system.
So I have a question about Warbreaker.
Yep.
I got most of the way through it, like 6 hours left, and I got to the big twist. And
what's the Sebron?
The twist of that one of the sisters was kidnapped, and while she was trying to play hero, she was actually being kidnapped.
Yep.
But the story never picked up for me, and does it pick up? Because it's the only book of his I haven't DNF'd.
Yes, it does. There is a massive battle in about the last 20% of the book.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's definitely.
You're maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours away from it.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough, especially with Vasher going Vasher.
He basically, it kind of slows down, and then something happens, and is Vasher the main character? If he is, he gets very angry and sets in motion a bunch of things, and there's a massive battle.
Yeah, Vasher is awesome. We'll just say that. But yeah, I think Warbreaker's. I had some a hard time getting going, and then getting confused on some things, and then once it started clicking and getting into it a little further, it started picking up. For me, like I just I think the breath system and the magic system is cool too. So
so
I'd say keep at it.
That's where I didn't buy your thing on the spoiler, is because of breaths.
I think he. I think that's. I don't think he's talking. Well, why not? I mean, Hoyd uses all of them.
Wait, what
Maybe.
spoiler?
And I don't think he's actually using breath. I think he just mentions it because of
Oh,
his
you think they're
situation.
using it as a unit of measurement, sort of like how
Yeah.
we
Oh.
use centimeters versus
Right.
imperial metric or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You don't think Hoyd uses breath?
No. He's talking about in Sunlit Man. There's a point where
Oh.
he says something about breath,
Okay.
and I don't think it's because he's using it. I think he's just using it as the word. I got
As a
confused for a
unit
minute
of
there, too.
measurement.
Trust me, once
Because investiture or whatever.
you got 100% trust me. Once you get a little bit further, there is no doubt who it is. It is 100%.
I thought we were talking about the ending to Rhythm with Hoyd.
Oh no. Hoyd's using everything.
Yeah.
Hoyd's crazy. I love
Hoyd
Hoyd.
is one of the original. What are they? People.
Badasses.
He was
That
one of the
held
people
on the
that went
shard.
to
And
take on
Elysium.
Ad Elysium, yeah, but he
Yep.
denied the shard out of wisdom, I guess you could
Yep.
say.
Yep. Yeah, that was the best part of Rhythm of War was the ending for me, but
I didn't
Yes,
mind
Hoyd is
Navani.
yes, Hoyd is wit. It's Hoyd is 100% wit.
He
Yep.
appears in every single one of the main major novels.
Yep. So I need to. So well, it's official. I need to start Cosmere stuff on the channel. So it'll be a good time after the show. We'll talk about something that we like. Talk about some Cosmere stuff, especially with it
Of
ramping
course,
back
we
up.
can talk about how I think book 4 of Era 2 is
The best
Sanderson
novel in
getting...
the Cosmere.
No, I think it's pretty bad. I feel like Sanderson drank the Kool-Aid.
A lot Lost Metal.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Lost Metal.
Oh, are you talking about the girl in it? The what's her
Yeah.
name? Yeah.
Basically, I felt like the first 3 kind of set her up as, all right side character, but then in the last one, it kind of propelled her to the center stage, and it felt a little unearned.
I mean, I get that. I tend to sort of blank on her and concentrate on Wax and Wayne. So it's one of those. Wax and Wayne are always my focus. So sometimes I can just it's one of those. Some of those I'll just push through certain chapters just to get to the characters that I want to.
But I also thought the same thing about Tress in the Emerald Sea, because no less than 4 times he says something like, "This isn't one of those stories where a man rescues a princess."
Yeah, Tress was a little bit weird, and it was okay. Tress wasn't bad. I get what you're saying with Tress and Lost Metal but I don't think
the story was good. It was just there was elements that were kind of preachy that I didn't like.
Keep in mind, Tress was written as a love letter to his wife. More than
look, it was okay. I got through it. I couldn't get through Yumi in The Nightmare Painter, which is the first Sanderson book I can say of that. So I couldn't. I'm gonna have to try again, but I couldn't get through.
It was really good. Once it gets going, after you get through probably the first 25%, it actually is a decent story. It's just there's certain elements that do kind of.
I just couldn't stand the 2 characters at first, so it's one of those. I'll have to punch through and see where if I can get there. I mean, I like the concept, but just I couldn't connect with any of the characters. It's for those which was weird. Once I latch, it's like Stormlight. You immediately latch on to Kaladin. You know what I mean?
I sit there reading it, and I'm like, can I get back to Kaladin? Why are we reading
No, you immediately
Shallan
latch
here?
on to Kaladin. Mistborn, you're on Kelsier. And it's just this one. I couldn't get latched on to anybody.
Pushback on Mistborn. I latched on to Vin. Her
Vin
chapters
too.
were the
Vin
ones
too.
I
No.
wanted to
Vin
read.
too. Vin too. Initially, it was Kelsier for me. Vin is fine, and then of course the team. But yeah. So but yeah, we could end up shit. This is what happened last time on Discord. We started talking Cosmere up all night, and I have to go to work in the morning. So yeah. So guys, thank you for being here. And like I said, we're gonna be doing some Cosmere
week
talk
or whatever. Bring in a talk on Cosmere if you want to.
Well, I know I need to. Alex has made it all the way through Cosmere, so he busted right through it. So I'd love to start doing some Cosmere talks, and I got to figure out exactly how to do it. Whether we just go for free for all and just talk or whatever. But definitely Cosmere stuff coming up for real this time. I know I've said that before, but I think that's the natural transition point.
I feel like we've talked out the Wheel of Time. There's nothing left. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, unless there's an overwhelming, I'm probably gonna take a break tomorrow night. I don't think there's really anything to cover too much. Maybe make a video. So I'm not sure. Probably may not do Unhyped tomorrow night, and I got to figure out how I want to rebrand that and keep going with something else. Maybe we'll just turn it into Cosmere Talks. Why not? Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, so thanks for being here, guys, and until next time.
Adios.
Later. All hail the Lord Dragon, and let me. Hey, if you want to come hop on next time, become a member, become part of the Dragon's Horn, and join the channel. And I can't find my button. God damn it. Here it is. All right. Bye, guys.
This stream is brought to you by... Have you ever been misunderstood? A puppy in a rage monster's body? Well, we here at Trollocs Lives Matter believe there is a human inside all of us. And
they were effectively genetically engineered war tools.
TLM, because even
nightmare fuel
needs love too. And maybe a hug.
What up?
Oh, not much.
Cool. Like it's funny on these streams, everybody. Oh, I'm still freaking on. Bye. Bye. I forgot to end the stream. That's how.